and they don't really get to the basket to the same degree that a lot of these other teams in the NBA do. And if you're going to play that way in the modern NBA, you cannot turn the ball over. You have to be efficient. You have to score on those possessions and scoring chances that you have. And it's easy to go after Chris Paul, and the Mavs made his life hell. But I saw Jay Crowder being careless with the basketball. I saw DeAndre Ayton being careless with the basketball. Look, you can't have that if you're going to play basketball this way. It's not a wrong way to play, but you've got to be a lot more efficient. So let's go ahead and get to the second quarter here. And we were talking about it to start with the officiating. And this is not just a Suns question. This is a postseason question. What do you think about the NBA's officiating so far this postseason?
It's bull crap. Oh, sorry, Randy. It's your turn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be very succinct about the officiating. Has been abysmal, horrid, god awful. I mean, that's it.
It's not just Suns fans saying this, by the way. It's been horrific. And listen, let me just read you. I'm sure you've seen the Suns fans out there. And then, of course, the immediate response by somebody who's not a Suns fan is say, oh, yeah, you big whiners. You just lost the game. OK, yeah, listen, there's plenty of things that we are about to talk about that are going to support they just lost the game, fair and square narrative. I'm not talking about that the refs cost the Suns the game. I'm talking about the fact that the officiating has just been horrific. So let me read to you a few comments by the experts out there. Now, remember, the experts who don't give the Suns any sort of note, don't give them any sort of publicity, don't give them any kind of credit when it's good, right? I'm just going to read you what they say. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but trust me, these are all the industry leaders in the media who are observing this, okay? Please make it better, Adam Silver. This is embarrassing for the league. Another person, all you need to know is Chris Paul, 6 fouls, 5 points. NBA wants Luka to save the ratings day. Another person, is NBA officiating the worst in all pro sports? Is there another league that's worse? Another guy, league needs an F46M report from this Dallas Phoenix game. Another guy, this is the worst officiated and flop game I've ever seen. Never seen anything like it. What a disaster for the league. And I can keep going and going, but I'm not going to. The point is, it's not just the fact that we lost. We were saying this when the Suns won. All across the entire playoffs, the officiating has been bad.
And you're correct. I'm going to go with another word. I'm going to say inconsistent. And Randy knows this. I assume from playing baseball, when you have an umpire calling a strike zone. It can be a smaller strike zone. It can be a little bit bigger, but once you get a feel for what that person is calling, then you can make decisions based on that. I feel like they've allowed teams to play physical in the first half, but not the second, and vice versa in different series. If you think the Suns are complaining, ask the Celtics about what they think after this weekend. Ask the Heat about what they think after this weekend. It's been inconsistent. I don't know what the rules are. Things that are fouls in quarter 2 might not be fouls in quarter 4. What kind of sense does that make? It doesn't work. And then the fouls, the ticky-tack stuff that Randy mentioned earlier that just slows the game to a crawl is unwatchable as a fan to a degree. I just cannot stand it. It's just not fun. And I don't recall this being the case just a season ago. Like last postseason, I don't think that it was this bad. Something has happened. And what happened to flop warnings? I remember that was a thing once upon a time, that if you flopped, they would fine you. But what happened to that? Where did that go? They haven't done it this postseason. And it's not just Luka. Everybody's flopping, and the league's not pushing back on it at all. I just cannot stand the way that they've officiated this postseason.
Well, listen, we're halfway through 4 quarters of Keon Rose, but running up against a break. Nope. So let's do this. Let's take that break. We'll come back. We'll finish up 4 quarters. Then we'll get to the text line, 888-368-1580. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Diamondbacks baseball in action against the Marlins tonight. The Diamondbacks will have Humberto Castellanos on the mound. He's 2-1 with a 4.12 ERA. Eliezer Hernandez will start for the Marlins. He comes in with a 2-1 record. The Diamondbacks and Marlins are each paying out at -108 on the money line. So essentially a pick 'em tonight. The over-under has been set at 9 runs. The Phoenix Suns get back at tomorrow, hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Series even 2-2. Phoenix a 6-point favorite, over-under at 213. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. Well, when you make the cover of the Rolling Stone, you are special. But in sports, it doesn't happen that much. Can you name the first ever sports athlete to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone? The answer is coming up.
When you want trivia from the world of sports, Daily Sports Quiz host Nick LaCapria has it. Baseball lovers, go online to baseballtrivia.org. Basketball fans, check out basketballtrivia.net. Football fans, head on over to footballtrivia.net. Hockey trivia, that's hockeytrivia.net. And boxing fans, log on to boxingtrivia.net. Stay tuned to this radio station for the Daily Sports Quiz or visit Nick LaCapria's sports-specific trivia websites.
Well, there's been a lot of great athletes over the years, but who was on the front cover of the Rolling Stone first? Baseball's Mark the Bird Fidrich, the man that talked to the baseball from the Detroit Tigers. The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 biggie bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. You got that bag. You got that biggie bag. You got that bag. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that biggie bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Come join the fun as Kasai Japanese Steakhouse presents its first annual Fire and Fairways charity golf tournament, Monday morning, June 6th at Silverado Golf Club in Scottsdale. Proceeds go to support Arizonans for Children, helping foster kids since 2002. Entry is just $150, includes contest prizes, raffles, plus a fabulous lunch and drink celebration at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You can help. They need sponsors, golfers, and prize donations. And you can win a 2-year car lease from Coulter Cadillac. Go to fireandfairways.com. That's fireandfairways.com today.
You can hear the grunts of pain. You can smell the workout sweat. You can feel the muscles straining. And even if you can't, we can.
And that's all that really matters.
NFL training camp.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Here we go.
It fills the senses.
Well, everyone's but yours.
Get the latest info, insights, and breaking news here.
Respect what it is we're doing here.
On your home for the NFL, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. No, we are not going to be those guys. The officiating's been bad, but none of us are saying that is why the Suns lost games 3 and 4. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And yeah, I'm looking at it right here. In the game on Friday, we had 14 fouls. They had 19 fouls. Yesterday, we had 25 fouls. They had 21 fouls. You know, there is something to be said about the fouls that don't get called. But no, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that's why the Suns lost. I'm going to say it was evident that the officiating was pretty bad. But to be fair, it was in both directions. 888-368-1580. So let's go ahead and continue with 4 quarters with Keon Rose. All right, we're at the third quarter, Keon. What do you got?
Well, we're going to go back to the Suns here in the third quarter, and try to find maybe somebody who can step up and make a difference in this series. Jeffrey, in your opinion, which Suns player needs to step up to turn the tide of the direction that things are going right now?
I'll tell you what, it's weird to say this out loud, but it's CP3. It's absolutely CP3. If you look at the fact he had 12 points in game 3 and 4 fouls, and he had 5 points in game 4 and he fouled out. Once you start picking up some of them fouls, you have to learn how the officials are calling the game and act accordingly. And I know that it's been frustrating for a lot of these players. And I know that CP3 says, okay, so we're playing old NBA or new NBA. Well, once you figure it out, it's on you to make sure you're getting it done right. So if we got players fouling out, I think some of that's going to be on us. You have to be able to, zig and zag, you know what I'm saying? But CP3, 12 points in game 1, 5 points in game 4, in game 3, and then 5 points in game 4. Regardless of the officiating, he has been absent. Now, Keon can tell us later why, what kind of defense have the Mavericks played on him that is basically taking him out of the game. But he's the guy I think needs to step up the most.
Randy?
Well, I agree in most cases with what Jeffrey just said about Chris Paul. It's time for him to step up in the first half. We've seen him come out, kind of put it in cruise, sit there at one speed, just kind of distribute the basketball, lead the team, this, that, and the other. But he's really not doing anything offensively. But I can't put the onus completely on him. I mean, like I said earlier, the wing shooting, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, Cam Payne. These guys, when they get in the game last season, they made the most of their time in the game. I mean, Cam Johnson got a huge extension to stay with his team because he was clutch, and he hasn't been showing up here in the last 2 series. So I think these guys, when they come in and they have the opportunity and they're playing, they need to step up. There can't just be Chris Paul carrying this team. He is not that guy. LeBron James, he's that guy. Joel Embiid, he's that guy. We saw the 76ers change course this weekend because Joel Embiid got back in the lineup. But, I think some of the other guys, this is a team effort. We've been saying that all year long. If the Suns play as a team, they are undefeatable. If you put it on one guy, they can be shut down pretty quick. So I say, guys like Cam Johnson and those guys.
Bench.
Yeah, I'm gonna go DeAndre Ayton. If DeAndre Ayton goes out there, scores 20 and 10, I'm not gonna complain. You're gonna hear 0 complaints from me. But that's not what happened this weekend. I saw DeAndre Ayton, in the first game get into foul trouble early, and really not be a factor there. But then in the second game, he wasn't in foul trouble. But he really didn't take over the game. Like, not even from the mid-range where he's been, doing a lot of his damage. That wasn't really the case. That calling for the ball. Let's go ahead and see if we can find one of the mismatches on the floor. Oh, me and Maxi Kleber, that should be a mismatch. I should destroy that guy. Oh, me and Dwight Powell, that should be a mismatch. I should destroy that guy. That didn't happen. And to the point that doesn't happen, when you don't have a Chris Paul who's out there nearly as much, and look, Devin Booker was doing his thing and carrying the load offensively out there. And I thought that Jay Crowder was one of the best players that they threw at Luka to slow him down. When you don't have those guys out there putting up those points, I think you got to look at DeAndre Ayton and go, we need you to score more than 14 points, dude. Like, yeah. we when you're scoring 20 to 25, again, no complaints from me, but when you're scoring 14 points and we need those buckets in the third quarter and we need those buckets in the fourth quarter, I'd love to see more in those moments. And I just didn't see them.
See, this is what we've been saying, Keon. Now it's starting to come to light, I think, for you. DeAndre Ayton wants $187 million or whatever it is that he wants to get. But these are the key moments that Jeffrey and I have been talking about. These are the times when he can put his name on the dotted line by coming out and having a dominant game, especially in a playoff game. He cannot be Mr. Invisible in a playoff game. You're exactly right. He's got to go out and dominate under the hoop.
I can't sit there and watch DeAndre Ayton, who I know is talented and who I know is skilled, get frustrated by Dwight Powell. Are you serious? That just I was watching that. I just did not understand that at all. And the game 3, I gave him a little bit of a pass because once you're in foul trouble as a big guy, it limits all the different things that you can do. he wasn't in foul trouble in game 4. So there's kind of just no excuse to just disappear in that moment that like the way that he did. So that's why I'm going to put that on DeAndre Ayton. And let's go ahead and just get to the fourth quarter here.
On the hot seat.
On the hot seat. And it is just a question about what you think Monty Williams might wind up doing. Because look, Monty Williams, you're not going to tell Monty Williams how to coach the Phoenix Suns. That man has forgotten more basketball than any of us know. However, what adjustment would you like to see Monty Williams make in this series to maybe turn some things around?
Your turn, Randy.
Well, I think go back to what you were doing before. Let Luka do Luka and lock down the rest of the team and play that stifling defense on the rest of the team. I feel if you put a little pressure on these guys, they're not going to be able to knock down shots so easy, and quit playing so sloppy. I don't know why these guys are so aloof. I wonder if they just have this mindset of we're just going to wander into the championship game and be in the finals. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I mean, if you move on from here, you've got a very tough opponent in the Golden State Warriors or the Memphis Grizzlies. These guys aren't playing games. They're going to beat you down. And so you need to take care of business here in game 5. And put your foot on the neck of the Dallas Mavericks. And then in game 6, go back on the road and put them down and finish this. And you've got to start getting back together as a team. Play as a team. Don't play as individuals.
Well, I'm going to say if I'm going to tell Coach Monty, and like you said, like we need to tell him anything. But there's 3 things I would want to see him work on. I want to see him work on defense on shooters. I want to, let's get better at defending the shooting. The next thing is, we need more offensive rebounds. We're doing great with the defensive rebounds, but we need to do better with the offensive rebounds. It's not like they're doing any better. In fact, the Suns have out-rebounded the Mavericks. But why do you see a differential? Because the Suns are getting outshot by the Mavericks as well. I'd say let's work on defending the shooting. Let's work on improving our shooting. And let's just make sure that we're playing the tightest defense across the board we possibly can. The Suns own the paint in this last game. Didn't do them any good, because the Mavs owned the paint in the game before. That doesn't seem to be a huge differential. But what you saw was a huge difference in the 3-point percentage on that game. So you got to defend the shooting. That's what I'd say. Numero uno, you got to figure out how to defend the shooting.
I agree with both of you. I would summarize it as pick a struggle. Are we taking Luka out of the game, or are we taking the others out of the game? You've got to figure that out. And I think that they focused a lot on Luka in the last couple of games. I don't know that worked out very well. Luka went for 45 in game 1. The Mavs lost. So I don't care if Luka scores 50. What I don't want to see is 24 points out of Dorian Finney-Smith. That you can't turn him into Reggie Miller. That is not an acceptable way to go about trying to play basketball in this series, because these guys are shooters. They are brought in to surround Luka. They're the orbiters. They're the guys that are supposed to be open when Luka drives to the basket. Luka cannot score 100 points by himself. Okay, he's not Kareem. He's not Wilt. That's not going to happen. However, you can't have Jalen Brunson going crazy. Jalen Brunson led all scorers in game 3. That's not something.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was an anomaly, wasn't it?
I mean, but it's not is the thing, because in the previous series, Jalen Brunson, when Luka was out, was that guy. He was absolutely able to do that. And I think that Jason Kidd, I'll give him some more credit. Jason Kidd didn't try to convince Luka to pass the ball more. He just kept Luka on the bench more. And those other guys that are able to step up when Luka's not on the floor, they were able to get some more minutes separate from Luka. And that really helped, Jalen Brunson do what he wanted to do. It really helped Kleber do what he wanted to do. So I think that there's a point at where you have to go, I'm not going to step off of Davis Bertans, because I know that all he does is shoot threes. Mm-hmm. If he can't shoot a 3, if he's not open, he can't do much. And the same is true for Finney-Smith, and the same is true for Reggie Bullock. Like, these guys are 3-point shooters when they're open. And if you take that away, there isn't another thing that they're doing. Brunson's different. Brunson can't actually get to the basket. But worry about him a little bit later. That's not what killed them. They got killed by all of those other shooters that were out there. And that is 4 quarters. Keon Rose, thanks for playing.
I don't feel any better. After that.
There's not a catharsis going on here.
It's just, I think people are going to try to decide who won this, and I'm pretty sure that the refs did. Big George says, wow, this was competitive. 4 quarters of Keon Rose gave the edge to Jeffrey, but both Keon and Randy were really close. It's Jeffrey by a nose, Jimmy Durante nose, though. I don't know. I think that we're all kind of on the same page. But it is interesting. We all did take different, different ideas and what needs to change for the Suns, and
who needs to step up. I think that there's truth in all of those answers.
Well, I think they just need to get back to what they were doing game 1 and 2. And you're right. They didn't try to stay. Remember, we even talked about this. It was like, there's the basket, Luka, help yourself. And they were able to stop the shooters in those 2 games. Why they changed speed so much for game 3 didn't work. Well, they didn't go back to what they were doing in games 1 and 2. That I'm kind of curious about. Again, Coach of the Year, Monty Williams. How can you question it? But here I am questioning it a little bit. Why wasn't there an adjustment made to go back to your original form of play? That is curious.
It is a little bit. I don't exactly know. And I don't know what they're seeing or what they're doing in their film study where they thought that there was something that they could exploit there, or whether they thought, you know what, these guys can't keep shooting at this clip. It's pretty obvious now that they can. So I would like to not see that in game 5. I would like to see some kind of a reining in of this, because I was sick to my stomach watching Dorian Finney-Smith just pull up from like 3 feet behind the 3-point line, and there wasn't a orange jersey in sight.
Right. Nope. You have guys running towards you with a hand up, but that's not the same thing as covering.
And that's the thing. If you concentrate on a flopper, I don't care if it's Luka Doncic or whoever it might be, you concentrate on a flopper, they will get you and they will hurt you and they will put you in foul trouble real fast. You let the flopper go, man. Just ole, do the bull wave at him, the bullfire
hello,
wave.
Sir. Your two is in this direction.
Yes, right here.
May I hold your jacket?
And you just get out there on the perimeter and lock down the rest of the guys. Oh, Lucas scores 100 points in the game against who cares? We win 135-100.
I got a question about a stat, and this might be relevant. Because everybody is talking about flopping and foul drawing, something CP3 has been good at.
Yes,
to be foul. But here's the thing I want to know. Who drew the most fouls yesterday? I didn't see. And listen, after these last couple of games, I've been poring over the statistics like I've never done before in my entire life. I've never cared that much because usually you'll watch a game and it's pretty obvious what's going on. I had to go to the numbers because I couldn't understand outside of bad officiating the hell was going on. So who got fouled the most? I don't know where to find that stat. I want to know, was it Luka? Was it somebody else? Who got fouled the most? Because that's another thing you can start saying, Jesus, we just fouled that guy again. All right, stay away from that guy. I mean, why were these fouls happening other than bad officiating? But who got fouled the most?
Let's see here. I mean, look, I'm looking at the free throw numbers. I mean, on Dallas, the person who got fouled the most was Luka. He went to the free throw line.
There's your answer.
And shot, 8 free throws, made 7. But in the game as a whole, it was actually Devin Booker.
Devin Booker got fouled the most.
Devin Booker shot 13 free throws yesterday and made 12.
Well, that doesn't count the fouls that were non-shooting before you got up to bonus time. So, no big deal at the moment, but I would be curious. And if I were a coach, that's something else I'm looking at. It doesn't matter if he's full of crap. If the refs are buying it, you got to stop selling it. 888-368-1580. Other things happened at this game. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but let's get caught up in the text line here just for a bit. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Marley Monday, guys. I'll take an 805, please. Refs in 4. Well, 7, I think. But he says, it's the Phoenix curse. Ease up. We won 2 at home. They won 2 at home. I fully expect the Suns to win both of their home games, no matter what happens in Dallas on the next game. Heavy Metal Maniac says, which was worse, the NBA referees, the umpire staring into Mad Bum's eyes? By the way, that dude apologized over the weekend. Did you see that? He actually issued an apology for his actions in that game, which just blew me away.
What he did just seemed so intentional.
Well, he knew it was, and there's no denying it. That's why he actually had to come out and apologize. But
that's your mom made you say sorry apology. I don't know how much I believe.
Sorry. Mr. Wilbur says Randy's fish fell out of the water. The laws of gravity are a bit different over at Randy's place. Blissful Hayes says, congratulations to Montel Williams for Coach of the Year. Luka Donkey stuff has no idea what a foul is. Man Boobs also doesn't know what playing good defense is. Who's Man Boobs?
Still Luka.
Is that Luka?
Yeah.
He's a little pudgy.
I talked about him having some baby fat on the other day. I didn't realize he was sporting an A cup. Yeah. Berg says DeAndre Hopkins, legend. Okay, why, Berg? What Berg has these very strange and cryptic, texts sometimes. I think we have to go to his Twitter feed to find out why. Senior Wake and Bake says, like the players and the coaches, the referees should have to answer to what happened during a game. I think you're right. And it's not fair. It's not the refs get to assert their thoughts and opinions with a whistle. The players are just not allowed to say anything about anything. It is kind of garbage. Santa's number one helper says, we lost because we didn't cover the 3. Let Luka beat us and score 40 instead of passing and getting everyone involved. That's what I'm saying. You and I are on the same page, pal. Fifth letter says, look, I get it. The refs ain't the best, but a team that's worried about and complaining about the refs ain't a championship team. Series is knotted up. Now go play Suns basketball and finish this thing. We all know the Suns are a better team. They got to stop messing around and step it up.
I agree 100%. I didn't see any complaining by the team about officiating. I saw Chris Paul say, I've got to play better. I've got to do better. I've got to be better. I see Chris Paul as the leader of this team taking the responsibility for what happened this weekend and wants to step up. That's what I saw.
And I saw Chris Paul also a little bit aggravated about how his family was getting treated by some Maverick fans. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs. Protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 biggie bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. You got that bag. You got that biggie bag. You got that bag. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that biggie bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are 2 different issues with 2 separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today, 480-398-1000, or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
Come join the fun as Kasai Japanese Steakhouse presents its first annual Fire and Fairways charity golf tournament, Monday morning, June 6th at Silverado Golf Club in Scottsdale. Proceeds go to support Arizonans for Children, helping foster kids since 2002. Entry is just $150, includes contests, prizes, raffles, plus a fabulous lunch and drink celebration at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You can help. They need sponsors, golfers, and prize donations. And you can win a 2-year car lease from Coulter Cadillac. Go to fireandfairways.com. That's fireandfairways.com today.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of the Daily Blender. Playoffs are in full go mode, and you can make every game feel like Game 7 on the FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Remember, throughout the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many different ways to play. Best of all, when you do win, you'll get paid faster than an NBA fast break. And if you're new to FanDuel, look, got a deal for you. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Randy1580 to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Meaning you sign up, you get the app, you sign up, and bam, you can make a bet up to $1,000 on anything your heart desires, and it's risk-free. Once again, that's promo code Randy1580. You're going to need that when you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. And if you already have an account, you're all set to bet. No sweat. Either way, you'll get up to $20 in free bets if your same-game parlay during the playoffs doesn't win. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Remember, 21 or older, present in Arizona. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after you get them. Max free bet, $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Remember, gambling problem, you can call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for help, or text Next Step to 53342. Jeffco?
All right. So here's the thing. It wasn't just, bad officiating. There was some bad officiating. Is that, can I?
Officiating?
Did I just make it work? Did I make it work?
No.
I don't think I like that one. Officiating. Yeah, that's not so good. So here's the thing. We were watching the game, and all of a sudden I see Chris Paul's yelling at some cops and stuff, and I'm like, oh, something's going on over there. So I figured, another guy in the crowd is saying stuff, and now Chris is like, I've had enough of this guy. Get rid of this guy, please. It turns out wasn't even that. Turns out that Chris Paul had found out, well, somebody had pushed his mama and had put his hands on his wife and that sort of thing. And there was, whatever reason, Maverick fans, I believe, getting physical with Chris Paul's family, who were sitting right behind the Suns bench, rooting on the team. And so then, you watch this, oh my God, well, of course, get rid of these people, right? And of course, the Mavericks organization says unacceptable behavior will not be tolerated. Mavericks, along with the American Airlines Center, swiftly remove the fan from today's game. So then I saw some video, and it's a kid.
Yeah. The kid, his mom.
Now, this is a tall kid. This is like a teenager. And in the video, suddenly he's like, well, me? I didn't do nothing. Why am I getting thrown out? Yeah, but I've also seen the kid go from Dr. Jekyll to Hyde that quick, too, where it's like, so I'm not buying it, kid. And, of course, this guy's mom is like, what did you do? Why are you doing this? And so they got... the little brother had to get mom's purse, and then the whole family got thrown out. So, here's the thing. This is a big kid, and as peaceful as he looked as he was being ushered out, kids can be annoying. Kids can be harsh and horrible, and this kid could just be the biggest douche nozzle ever walk the earth. The line gets crossed. He touched Chris Paul's family. You don't touch people. Why? His mom is right there. I mean, we don't have all the facts yet. Got to see some video. You would imagine somewhere there will be, right? But this was ugly. This is not something you want. And then Chris Paul did not help matters. He's telling a kid, I'm going to see you later. Like he's going to fight him out by the bleachers. You know what I'm saying? In high school. It's like Chris Paul lowered himself in that situation to tell this kid, I'm going to see you later kind of thing. So, you're going to fight a kid? What?
Yes. See, I thought he was I thought he was saying, I'm going to kick your ass. That's what I thought.
No, he was saying, I'm going to see you later is what he said. and the other part is
because it looked like this, kick your ass.
This mom, clearly, your kids are out of control. The kid had an earring.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
I'm just kidding around.
I was like, I don't know what we're supposed to take from that piece of information.
Well, when Randy and I were kids, like the kid had an earring. Ooh.
I meant something different then.
It doesn't mean anything now. I remember when I was 25 and I just gotten divorced and I thought I'm going to try something new. And I got me an earring. Oh my God. Randy made he went out of his way to stop by a radio station he no longer worked at to just rail me up and down the hallways, making fun of me for having this just simple little earring.
There's somebody now. I think that's your mom calling because she didn't know you got an earring.
Yeah, and the thing is, even on air, I I got it. Did I ever tell you why? I thought it'd be kind of like, let's see what happens, right? George Carlin had one, other guys had one. And I thought, man, maybe I'd like an earring. And so I went on air and I said, what do you guys think? Should I get an earring? And overwhelmingly, the female listening audience said yes. That's the way I got the earring. The ladies loved the earring. So yeah, and it worked. Anyway,
I would be interested to find out what Alex thinks about whether you should wear an earring or not.
Oh, it's grown over, and I ain't gonna repoke that thing. Not a chance. It's it's. I don't know. I don't think I would know. I don't think so. I mean, 52-year-old dude with an earring starts to get into kind of sad zone, I think.
Like if you didn't have one before,
right?
Yeah.
If I'd had one my entire life, well, then okay. Well, Jordan's got an earring.
Yeah.
Right.
That's literally the first person that came to mind too.
There are some guys that look good with an earring, and then there are some guys that don't.
I look good with the earring. Why you give me so much crap for it?
It looked so awkward for me to see you.
It was just awkward because you know me. The ladies love the earring.
Oh my God. Well, listen. I mean, it's
and I know from what you told me that day, that wasn't the direction you thought I was going with the earring. You bastard.
I was a different man back then.
No, you weren't. Yeah, okay. Maybe rail me up and down the hallways was the wrong term, Moist One. I figured after I said it, it's like, oh crap, here comes Moist One.
You just keep talking and hope that he wasn't listening at that exact moment in time.
I had to change what I was saying because actually, can I tell you what I was going to say? He was ragging me up and down the hallway. But then I thought, well, I'm going to get in trouble with somebody else if I say that. Watermelon says, clearly that mom made some bad choices, Jeffrey. Hence why the kids are around and dad is still out getting a pack of smokes, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
She did have a look like, you are the reason I drink. And she was like saying, stop.
Yeah,
like,
she looked stunned.
Yeah,
she looked stunned as she was walking him up
it
the
was
aisle there.
Sad. Hold on a second. Shut up, dog. Nobody cares what you think about my earring. Okay, sorry. So, okay, here we are again with the fans feeling emboldened and getting into conflicts with players and stuff. And it's just, when, what's her name? The annoying little harpy that Patrick Mahomes married? Brittany Murphy. That's right. Brittany what's her name? I don't know her name. But Brittany is
I don't remember
Mahomes.
her last name.
Yeah. Mrs. Mahomes. Now Mrs. She was, spraying champagne at people and stuff. And people are, like yelling at her and too close. There's got to be a point where you gotta keep them separated. Of course, that's about prisoners. But I'm talking about is fans versus celebrities. and then protecting families of celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's got to be a separation.
They will do something about it when something catastrophic happens.
We're getting close.
Well, I know we're getting close, but that's what I mean. That's the way it happens. I've seen it a million times. That's the way it happens. These guys will edge closer and closer and closer to the line. And then as soon as something catastrophic happens, then now we need to move the fans back, or we need to put some sort of, distance between the fans and the players. The NBA basketball, they're right there.
Yeah,
they're right there. And Jeffrey, you and I and Keon have talked about this. What do you do? What does the NBA do? And you suggested putting, those plexiglass retainers there.
No, not pet.
So they
I'm
can
not
see,
talking about
but move them back.
No. I never said there should be windows. What I said was there should be. You know how you have the scorers table that goes along there? Just have that around the entire thing, a buffer.
I thought you said something like the hockey arenas have some sort of separation.
I wanted separation, not a bunch of snot plexiglass blocking. No, I'm just saying a distance between the two. So something about the depth, maybe a little more than the scorer's table would probably be good, but it went all the way around the floor. That should at least slow down some situations and then give security time enough to get there. So I'm talking about a divider, security guys on the crowd side of the divider. You see what I'm saying? You're going to lose a few seats to do that, but I think that you'd have a better time. But this had nothing to do with players versus fans. This was fans versus family of players. And I tell you what, after a weird incident that Randy and I had at a remote broadcast back in the 90s, you'll notice I never post pictures of my kids ever, and I don't bring children to remotes ever. If I were a professional basketball player, I don't think I'd want my family sitting in a hostile environment. You'd probably be okay at a home game, but I definitely wouldn't have them sitting in a hostile environment, even if they lived in that town. You walk in there with a Suns jersey, who knows what kind of stuff is going to happen? Nothing should happen. It never should, but I would never put my family at that kind of risk. So
it should be in a protected area. The NBA should provide some sort of security around them. There shouldn't be anybody that can get their hands on them. I'm sorry. And the cost to do something, I don't care. Why should the families of these players not be able to attend games? And why do they have to, be treated, sequestered away? I think
the world we live in.
The NBA needs to provide some sort of security around these people to keep them safe. And then nobody can touch them.
Especially in this situation, because it was a kid. And the way it was described in the article on CBS Sports was he was giving out unwanted hugs.
What?
Yeah, he was trying to hug the Paul family.
Was he a Suns fan?
I have no idea. No, because he was wearing a Mavs jersey.
Was he pervy? What the hell?
I have no idea. But
unwanted hugs?
That is what it says.
He's an awkward teenager.
Yeah.
He's an awkward teenager.
When does a hug become his wife getting pushed?
When she pushed back to defend herself, probably. I just think that it's one of those situations where, what if it was somebody with worse intent than an awkward teenager? That's where you get to a bad situation I don't want to see happen.
Automatic, immediate ejection and consequences for doing bad things at games needs to be very visible to the ticket holding public, or something bad is going to happen. It's getting worse and worse. I got a lot of guys with texts here on the text line. We will get to those when we come back. We have other games in these NBA playoffs that we need to talk about. Plus, I got NFL quarterbacks. I know. And we'll get to it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari talks about the benefits of a financial advisor.
not only the technicals and the fundamentals and the valuation, but you have to look at the macro picture. And that requires a lot of work where you're looking at the sectors and industries within the sectors. And then you find the stocks within the sectors that are doing better. And then you have to do the work on those individual stocks. And you sort of go through tons of sand before you find those nuggets of gold. And the discipline to do that continuously, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, that is the hard part. People become traders, but they have a job, they've got a family, they get distracted, and then you look at it 3 weeks later and it's all history. Like your personal trainer who keeps your health on check, this is why you need a financial advisor to keep your emotions in check.
If you need help keeping your investments on track, call pound 250 and say talk to Mo, or go to compact.com and click on the Get Started button. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Now, we've seen interest rates go as low as we've seen them in years recently. We've also seen them bouncing around. A lot of uncertainty of what is going on in the loan game as far as mortgages are concerned. That's why I lean on my friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. They have been in business for 20 plus years here in the Valley. They only lend in Arizona. They are trusted. They'll get you that reliable quote. And if you're thinking about refinancing, whether it's to just lower your rate, maybe lower the terms of your rate, maybe down to 15 or 20 years, or if you're like, hey, we got a lot of debt on the side, we got some problems going on, we want to consolidate debt, or I've always wanted a pool. Now's the time to do it. Take some of that equity out, refinance, and get things done around your house that you want. But you got to use the best in the business. That's the Lund Mortgage Team. 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or check them out online, lundmortgage.com.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. Heck of a weekend, everybody. Hope you're all good to your mama, and hope you didn't get too bummed out by what was going on with the Phoenix Suns. We have good things to talk about. We do have good things to talk about. We'll get to that in a minute. Right now, I want to get caught up on said text line, 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, how about what happened to Dave Chappelle, huh? Are we going to not see stand-up shows without a big divider where bouncers stand? Everyone forgot how to behave after they were home for 2 years. I don't believe that for a minute. Even before COVID, people were getting more and more brave in how they were interacting. It hasn't been COVID. It's been Twitter. It's been social media, which has made people think several things that they shouldn't think. One, that they're a star. Two, it's emboldened people to be horrible to people because keyboard warrior. And the other thing is people forget you're not watching a TV show now where you're shouting out whatever you want at the screen. Now you're yelling at a person. Sometimes forget there is no divider there as it is. And as far as what's going on with, Chappelle getting attacked. No, thanks a lot, Will Smith. Now everybody feels like they want to go take a run at a comic. Listen, I don't mind a bouncer standing near the stage if there's a stand-up up there because I'm watching the stand-up. I see a bouncer, I'm like, noted, and you know why he's there. For me, I always made sure I knew exactly where a bouncer was in a club when I did stand up. And, usually they were by the damn door or gravitating over to the bar area, which is where most people start to act up when they're going to act up. Very rarely did you get people acting up in the crowd, but there's usually a straight line. People don't know this, usually a straight line between the entrance and the stage so that the bouncer can move quickly to where the stage is in case that happened. And, I don't think that it was ever oppressive or horrible or anything just to have security there. And Randy's right. If you've got a high profile player with a high profile family, there should be a couple of guys just stand there making sure no weird stuff happens. And I don't know how quick the hug-a-thon started before they were ushered out. How long did that go for, Keon? Because you have more information on this than I do. I was still waiting to hear exactly what the kid did. Now it sounds like he's weird and he wants to hug people.
Yeah, it was strange. And I don't know exactly how long it was going out, but basically Chris Paul kind of heard his family. There's like a commotion behind him, obviously, because it was after he fouled out.
Yeah.
So he was on the bench and he hears his family and he turns and he looks and he sees this kid.
Like, what
basically, he's like, yeah, like, why are you hanging around my wife and mom? Stop doing that. And so then they got security in there and swept him away pretty quick. And of course, Chris was, I mean, I understand that like this is a fan and you shouldn't be threatening to fight them later, but that's also your wife and mom. So I also understand where that switch flips and you're not rational Chris Paul anymore.
No.
Well, and I don't think Chris Paul realized maybe some of the extenuating circumstances. Maybe this kid's autistic.
That occurred to me.
Maybe this kid just doesn't understand boundaries, and he's got something going on. And this was a bad situation. And for him to be so close, that's why you got to put people in a secured area. High profile families, if they want to sit by the bench, okay, then there's got to be one or two guys right there that can intervene and de-escalate the situation.
I solved things easy. I just never brought the kids again. I just, and that's okay. That's one surefire way to make sure everybody is okay. Now, later on, remember we had the draft party. We didn't announce it, didn't talk about it, but my wife was there, and so was our teenage kid. He was there drafting his team, and of course, Rosalie Michaels stole ideas from him. That's a true statement. Other listeners will back it up, but she denies everything. But guess where he was? Guess where she was? Right next to me. Not like right next to the bench, right next to me where I could step in if I needed to do something. And even then, there was lots of conversations leading up to that. Are we sure we should do this? And it's a shame that we have to think like that, but you have to think like that to protect your family. And then you have to think like that to protect yourself. You got to give thumbs up on security for how they were pretty damn quick about jumping on those vegan protesters, although they're totally weak. So how fast did you have to be to jump on those protesters? But yeah, I mean, Randy's right. Gonna have to up security. I don't know what happens next. I don't know how you start to figure things out. I mean, in football, a lot of times you'll see the families or somebody of note in a box, in a skybox or something like that, except for who was it that who are they playing where they the other team stuck Mrs. Mahomes and his mom up in the nosebleeds. They weren't in a fancy area.
They were
at the top of the stadium.
That was the Packers, I think. Yeah,
was awesome.
just get all the way in that top level. How do you like high altitude? Isn't it the high altitude in Kansas City? Have some more.
Yeah, I'll tell you, gamesmanship loved it, but points off for watching out for somebody's family. Big George says, true statement. Rosalie Michaels did cheat off a Keanu. Yeah, that it's well documented. We all know.
Nobody believes you, Big George.
No, what are you talking about? My wife was standing there. You call my wife a liar?
No.
Okay, then. We have a new texter here on the text line. New texter 0726 says, this is what happens when the NBA hires a bunch of Angel Hernandezes. Crap officiating.
Look, the
You stink, and I don't like you.
I like how he follows up with, and I don't like you. I think
It's the
you stink pretty much lets you know up front, but make sure you tag it on with, I don't like you.
well, the you stink is objective. That is a fact. You stink. But also, I want you to know, in addition to that, I am not a fan.
I figured it was assumed, but credit to him to making sure, you know? Blissful Hayes says, I was wondering if he was a close talker like Elaine's boyfriend on Seinfeld. No, this guy had a little bit of the huggy going on. Am I going to feel bad if I find out this kid is autistic? No, because now it's on the mom. It's on the mom who knows her kid's ways. You know, everybody who is autistic has their own tics. They have their own little idiosyncrasies. And yeah, sometimes you can't see stuff coming. But if you're there and you know, my autistic kid likes to hug people every now and then, that might be taken as inappropriate. Maybe we won't go to this game. Maybe we should watch at home. You know, I mean, you got to try to protect your kid from being in that situation, you know? And maybe this was, unless this was their first time and she says, I had no idea that being in this atmosphere was going to trigger him this way. Then you'd be like, well, okay, lesson learned. Everybody shake hands and go home. But boy, if he'd been to some games before and gotten huggy, that's on her. That's on her. But right now, don't know that he's autistic. We don't know anything other than some weird crap went down at that game. But starting to kind of, you know, from what we know, could go that direction. The Reaper says, good afternoon, guys. I told you that the Suns couldn't sweep the Mavs.
Thank you, Reaper. What would we do without you?
Well, you know, but here's the thing, Reaper. You didn't predict it in the form that it happened. He said, sometimes teams like to push it to 5 so they can win at home. Well,
right. Well, now, they lost both games. So first off, your push it to 5 argument is, if they did that, it's backfired now. So that's great. And that's why you don't do that. That's plain and simple why you don't do that.
Boogie says, is it possible for the refs to win a series? Well, yeah, we've seen it many times. Monty needs to get CP3 the ball and directing the offense on every play. He needs the ball in his hands. Also agree, let Luka drop 45. Stop everyone else. Well, yeah, that is what we all came up with. And just in case you're just joining the show, the officiating was horrible, but not one single one of us has said that is why the Suns lose. The Suns lost because the Mavericks played better.
The Mavericks played better and the Mavericks shot better from 3. And
craziness.
They were just going bonkers. And anytime the Suns were able to get that lead down to 4 at one point in the fourth quarter. They just weren't able to stop the shooters. And when that happened, the lead ballooned back up again to what it was. I also think that it's not just as easy as get the ball in Chris Paul's hands. Chris Paul, and this is not a secret to anybody, likes to go to his right. It's his bread and butter. Most of the damage he does going to his right. Even when he goes left, he works his way back to his right because that's where his spot is and he likes to shoot from. And the Mavs were hell-bent on funneling him to his left and forcing him to shoot and pass from his left. And he's not as comfortable doing it from that spot. So now we're going to have to figure out different ways to free up Chris Paul to get him back to the spot on the floor he really does the most damage.
Chief Skull says, afternoon, guys. I know what frustrates me more than the Suns who play down to teams right now. It's the damn Wordle people. I'm going to treat Wordle people like Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm going to slam doors on people. Go Twins, go Wild, he says. Yeah, I know, Randy. I saw your tweet where you're like, the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Why are these people inviting me to these games and tweeting me in these
games?
Am
I somehow sleep gaming?
I don't know, man. I think you just need to tell them, please don't do that anymore. The cool people will not do that anymore. The others just need to be blocked.
Well, I think what happens is some of these folks out there mean well, and they just have a cut and paste followers or people that they want to know about their tweets. I appreciate that, but
I do not appreciate it. Can I let me take a moment here with everybody in the listening audience? Super fans, listeners, haters, everyone else. Nobody cares about your stupid games that you play on the internet. Stop sharing that you got so many points right. And for the love of bleepity bleep bleep, we don't care. Stop tagging us.
if I'm tagged in a Wordle thing, I don't block anybody, but that's a mute. I just mute.
That's your passive aggressive Keon move.
Because if someone,
I'm going to mute you.
Because if someone wants to,
I block the crap out of so many people.
Because if someone wants to DM me about something, I'm open to that and all that. So I'm not trying to like cut you out completely, but I don't care about your Wordle.
Block my own mom. I had to block her from sending me game notifications and invites. It was horrible. I was like, Mom, you have to stop doing that. She's like, I don't even realize I'm doing it. I'm like, well, okay, there's a solution for that. Click. Happy Mother's Day. I have no idea what you posted, but I love you. She was warned. So, Randy, that's how you deal with that.
Oh.
Against the spread says the Suns lost because they didn't switch to zone defense. It's much more difficult to guard the perimeter playing man on man. All Dallas did was set picks and take some open shots.
Whoa, no. Wait, hold on. The way you beat a zone is shooting threes. That's literally the opposite of the thing you would want to do there. Right. I'm sorry. A zone is if a team is shooting threes the way the Mavs were shooting threes, a zone is quite literally the worst idea. It would stop Luka. It would take Luka out the game.
I during the game I was studying some tape.
Wait, I want to tell you about my Wordle score.
Oh, why?
Just kidding. Sorry.
I was watching some tape on this. Kept running it back. I have that system in my house. That coach system. I can I can study tape, break it down.
Let's call that a VCR, and you're about boring through that last tape too. By the way,
I was going back and forth, and I've come up with a new extraordinary defense the Suns need to employ.
Okay, but we're listening.
I call it the hexagon.
The hexagon. Oh my God.
The hexagon.
What's his name had the triangle defense.
This is the hexagon. Now hear me out.
All right, I'm listening.
When you're on defense, everybody on the bench comes on the floor and assumes a position of defense. I'm telling you, this will work 100% of the time.
Sure.
They'll never get to the basket. We'll win. We call it the hexagon. And when you get the rebound, then all the bench guys run back to the bench.
You realize that you can only have 5 people on for your team at a time, and that will immediately start getting technical fouls. That will never, it'll never fly. You can only have 5 players on per team. Now, what you could do to overcome that and use your idea, Randy, is have 5 bench players grab their players, pull them off the court, then you throw 5 more players out there. Now you've got 10 players still in the court, and there's no rules been violated, and then they run down and just get a slam dunk.
How do they pull the other guys without fouling though?
You know what? Sometimes you're like a child, Keon. I shouldn't have to explain every single sports move to you. This is very obvious. Randy and I are working some strategic genius here, and you got to just muddy the waters with your silly questions.
Pour cold water all over our ideas. I mean, I think this damn hexagon is revolutionary.
Yeah, easy for you to say, Keon.
Yeah,
it is easy for me to say that they would never allow you to do that. That's all I'm trying to say. Just
wait.
Logistically,
how many guys are on the bench? How many guys? Because you got assistant coaches. You have some assistant coaches run up, spin the ref around, and say, "You look like you need a hug," and then they aren't looking.
There you go.
Can't call a foul because you can't see it.
Can't call a foul.
But won't the ref take offense to that too? I'm just because if you touch the ref, it's a technical foul. That's just
cold water.
Keon, again, you're a child. All you have to do is look at the dossier on each one of the refs, see what their preferences are, and have somebody who fits their preferences come run out and give them a hug. They'll never complain.
He's spinning.
You got to do some research. You got to do research, Keon. You got to know your opponent.
All right. Maybe I'm trying to. I'm just trying to understand, guys. I'm trying to work it out myself. It might be a little too revolutionary for me. Might be too on the cutting edge.
Strategy is sound, I believe,
sure
Randy.
Yeah,
I think we can do.
What would Tony Brothers type even be? That's it.
See,
some of these guys would just be a guy who looks just like them. That's all. Listen,
Well, some of the things I was thinking of to mesmerize the officials, mirrors and lights.
Sure. So what you do? Oh, Randy. All right. So here's what you do.
What I'm saying.
To further, you show a game where no fouls are being committed, You get the smoke and mirrors, and you get them looking the wrong direction. Over here, they're watching some game that already happened, but they don't know.
Lights and mirrors. I don't want smoke.
Because you know how they do that in the movies where there's a security camera and there's and they cut, and all of a sudden they're just watching security camera footage. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's just you turn that off the minute the ball goes through the hoop, and then it's too late. They're like, what? Then they won't admit that they just glitched out on you. They're going to
that more daily blender brilliance, the hexagon defense.
Keon, you're not invited to the think tank. Okay.
No,
you just sit back and you can take notes and learn.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Like I said, I might be lagging behind.
I have another idea, but I'll save it for later. I have another one.
Oh, come on.
It's kind of percolating back here.
All right. Well, we are running up against a break.
So. I'll save it for later.
Intern to the main event says, I am so over the word games. Oh, and she shows a thing that she does where, you can mute certain words, right, Randy? I think you can. No. How many words can you mute on Twitter?
I'm pretty sure it's an infinite amount of words.
I barely know how to open the app.
She has crosswordle, Quirtle, Wordle, and the main event with Steve. Those things are muted on Intern, the main event's Twitter. You probably didn't mean to show that much, but yeah, we better go to a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
We did it. We time traveled to yesterday. Wait, Progressive covers us 24/7, but we just created an 8-day week, and it's 24/7 coverage, not 24/8. We got to go back. Are you joking right now? Shh, I'm calling them. Hi, I have a question about time travel.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canyer with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Come join the fun as Kasai Japanese Steakhouse presents its first annual Fire and Fairways charity golf tournament, Monday morning, June 6th at Silverado Golf Club in Scottsdale. Proceeds go to support Arizonans for Children, helping foster kids since 2002. Entry is just $150, includes contests, prizes, raffles, plus a fabulous lunch and drink celebration at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You can help. They need sponsors, golfers, and prize donations. And you can win a 2-year car lease from Coulter Cadillac. Go to fireandfairways.com. That's fireandfairways.com today.
Arizona Rattlers football.
Exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
And at 1580thefanatic.com. Oh, yeah, I like that.
Tune in to hear every home game live.
Let's go, boys.
Don't miss a second of all the high-paced action as the Rattlers chase another world championship.
Hey, we're going to win. It's going to be on us.
Rattlers football on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Or streaming live at 1580thefanatic.com.
So, Jeffrey, on this hexagon defense, we only need 6 people. We don't need the whole bench.
6?
Yeah, well, it's 6 sides, 6 points, hexagon defense. So what I need is I need some duct tape.
Right.
I need some bungee cable. I need the Suns Gorilla's phone number. And then we pick our best defensive player on the bench. I need some mirrors and a lot of glitter.
This is getting very complicated. And your whole idea for this, though, is to get one free throw. So I'm not. We're going to have to talk more about this later. I think we're back on the air. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And let's get caught up here on the text line, and then we'll start talking about the other NBA games. Hefty Lefty says, upon further review, the hexagon defense will be renamed the Pentagon defense. No, Hefty Lefty. No, it's hexagon for a reason. And do we have to explain this again?
Don't mess with our brilliance.
God. He says, by the way, for someone who says he hates fake wrestling, Jeffrey sure uses strategy for dealing with refs straight from WWE. They stole it from me. Okay, don't even compare. Sensei Juan says, "Hey, what's up? What up?" Hello, Sensei Juan. Prison Wallet says, just have the female owner of Harmon Solar do the commercial. It sounds like pandering and it's awful. What are you talking about? I feel like we're missing part of the text there. Just because I say or Bruce says it's female owned, it's not pandering. It's just a fact. They like people to know that fact. I think you're just being sensitive, Prison Wallet. Fish Tank says, I don't know if we should be hugging refs after the events that happened this weekend. Strategy, Fish Tank.
Well, if you're using it to get them.
Who said anything about
out
hugging?
Of the way?
No, I said you get somebody to hug them that would be the kind of person they'd want hugged to distract them and pull their attention away.
Yeah, I've been working on this during the break. I'm doing a little refining. I've got it down. Instead of the entire bench, I need just 6 players.
I don't know how you're going to do that, but I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, I told you.
Senior Wake and Bake says, I second that, Jeffrey. Screw all you online zombies trying to play word games. How about you try something different called playing the game of life, man? Hefty Lefties, thank you. Santa's number one helper says, shut up, Phil. Let these professors teach. I think he was talking to Yukio.
Yeah, I think so, too. I'm just like, wait, who's Phil?
Moist One says, sounds like a mess for the towel boy, though, Randy. That is an issue. It has to be worked out.
Yeah, you need to do it coming out of a timeout. That's the other thing, too.
Well, don't give any more information, Randy. Don't cast your pearls before these swine.
Yeah,
let's get this worked out, and then we'll unleash it on them. And they're going to be like, "Oh my God, Randy,
the brilliance,
genius,
there.
Right there." I am just somebody he bounces these things off of. The real genius on this is Randy. He's always been the kind of guy who can ride up a play like nobody's business.
Well, there's that.
Hefty Lefty says, I'm surprised Chris Paul hasn't hugged Scott Foster yet. Seems like something he should try before, Game 7.
Chris Paul did something else with his finger to Scott Foster.
There's no finger involved in a hug, Randy. I keep telling you that. There's no finger involved in a hug.
No? Why can't I get that through my head?
We should have that on a T-shirt.
There's no
finger involved in a hug, Randy. It's a comma, Randy.
Randy.
Specifically, Randy. So there's a lot of talk right now on whether or not Jordan Poole did some injuring of Ja Morant. And let me just say something. He did not. I do not believe that he hurt Ja Morant's knee. There was a play that was like a play before that where Ja Morant did come down funky. And I think it just took him a minute to realize, ooh, yeah, I am hurt. But Jordan Poole did do a little bit of a football move on him called the push and pull, where he kind of like pushed him on his back and pulled his knee. And that's just a technique he must have learned in like junior high football as a way to get a guy off balance. And that he did do. Did he mean to hurt? I don't believe so. I don't think that was ever the intent. Was it a foul? Yeah. Is it something maybe he shouldn't do in the future? Yeah. But Jordan Poole didn't break the code, Ja Morant. He employed a football technique in a basketball situation. You want to call it a flagrant? Okay. I just say it's common foul. And no, he was not responsible for the injury. That's my take on it. Others will see it differently.
I thought Jordan Poole was playing for the ball. I really did, because when and Jordan Poole was the one that said it after.
The kneecap is like a ball.
Come on,
he reached for the ball on the first swipe, and then he was swiping again. And he raked through his knee. But I mean, it's not like
when you watch it, his left hand is pushing forward, and his right hand, he can't even. No, there's no ball near that at that point. He's pulling the leg. He is legit doing.
Yeah. I just, when I look at just having seen Jordan Poole play, doesn't strike me as a dirty player. He doesn't have the history of going after guys and trying to injure them.
Maybe John Morant said something about his mama.
Well, and I don't think Jordan Poole's a dirty player at all either. I just think Jeffrey's exactly right. This is one of those techniques that they teach you to kind of get him a little off balance. If he's off balance, can't take that hard, explosive first step. And I really think that's what it was all about. He didn't want John Morant to get that explosive first step. I mean, yeah, you're exactly right, Jeffrey. They don't teach it in football, but they teach it in football.
Oh, they totally teach it in football. They totally teach that. Blissful Hayes thinks it was retribution for the Peyton 2 injury.
No.
If you see this at speed, it's tough, but you see it slow down. You see, I can see intent to push him off balance, but I don't believe that had anything to do with the injury. You saw the play before that where John Morant came down funky, and you could tell him he's kind of like trying to decide, am I okay? I think I'm okay. And then he got back into playing, and afterwards it turned out he wasn't. Sometimes you can get hurt and it hasn't set in. You haven't really felt the fullness of the injury. And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm hurt now. I am hurt.
Especially with knee injuries, because I've had a bunch of those. And sometimes you're running and you think you're fine, and then you hear a little click. Oh, never mind. I thought I was good. I'm not good. Get me out of this game right now.
You just went from strain to full-on catastrophe. And John Morant, when he came down, probably was like, okay, what's happening here? Is this the thing? He starts playing. Oh, no, it's a thing. It's a thing. And, it can take 2 or 3 plays sometimes before it fully presents itself. And you got to remember, there's adrenaline in action. There's other things happening to your body. So sometimes it does take a moment to get in there and get you. Senior Wake and Bake says, Jeffrey, I got it. We need referee enforcers. You make a bad call, you catch a bad one, like in hockey. Yeah. Listen, there's been times that I've wished violence on a ref or an umpire. I mean, we all have, but probably I'm going to say it's going to completely, nobody's going to want that job if you do that. If there's a chance of acceptable violence towards an official, nobody wants to be official.
What they got to have is the transparency that they have for the last 2 minutes of the game. They have the 2-minute report that'll tell you, missed call, made call, and they'll go through and admit the ones that they missed. But that doesn't help me if the referees were screwing up in the first quarter. I want to know, are these officials doing their jobs the entire time, especially if you have the ability to go back and look?
Unions kind of ruin everything. The fact that big business or these organizations are crap to the workers or players, or however you want to state this, that's an evil itself. But it seems like the solution becomes another evil. And the fact that there is a union that protects the umpires and the referees, and there's nobody accountable, and the referees and the officials are not accountable to anybody but themselves. It's like saying, okay, we're okay if the police are only accountable to themselves. We're okay if the Daily Blender is accountable only to themselves. We're okay. Bad things happen when there's no accountability. And the fact that there's no accountability is just really that pendulum swing of union versus whatever is just swung so hard. You're seeing it across, different sports. I don't know. I'm going to say the worst right now officiating is the NBA. The second is my Major League Baseball, and the third has got to be the NFL. The hockey, I don't know. It seems like you don't hear about bad officiating in hockey all that much. Do you? I don't think you do. Not really.
I haven't heard a lot of people complain about the officiating at hockey games.
And I've been watching the NHL playoffs. I really haven't had any complaints at all about the officiating. So
that's what you got to look at. Why is that different? Why is that sport different than the other sports? Now, these hockey refs, they're dealing with some hockey's pretty chippy right now. There's a lot of stuff going on that they have to deal with, and they can't see everything. That's a different kind of sport too. It's a fast moving thing. It's easy to miss some stuff, but you don't hear about these hockey officials getting it so egregiously wrong that name a hockey official's name. I can't. Can you? Exactly. No. So, but we all can name NFL officials. We can name Major League Baseball officials and basketball officials. So, something's got to change on that. It's just getting ridiculous. But yeah, I would love some accountability. Sorry, Senior Wake and Bake. I don't think it will be violent. Hefty Lefty says the players could start using the trick by catchers by accidentally missing the ball when it just so happens to be headed straight for the ref's face. Is that what happened to that guy the other day?
You're not supposed to know that.
Good Cat says, what's up, fellas? Rough ass day at work. I could use an entire 6-pack of Arrogant Bastard Stout. How about you start with one drink and we'll get there?
Arrogant Bastard.
Chief Skull says, the hell of the Octagon. I'm just glad Randy figured out how to keep his internet so far. By the way, sports leagues need to understand they are not beholden to the umpire leagues and their union. They act like ump unions are untouchable. Yeah, and I've never understood why you have a separation between. I mean, I understand, but then there's no accountability.
But here we go, though. Remember when the NFL referees went on strike? Remember that? And we had the scab referees, and everybody talked about how horrible
it was. Definitely worse.
How terrible. Remember the Seahawks Green Bay game?
Yeah, the
remember that
Mary.
one? Oh, you remember all those bad calls and how the crowd gave them standing ovation when they walked back on the field after they came to that agreement? So, I mean, it's like you better be careful what you wish for, because if you start messing around here, and you start going off and we should just hire independent guys, you're going to have officiating that is way worse than a few rogue idiots out there that are too full of themselves.
I say you shake the Etch-a-Sketch, start over, and from the beginning say there is going to be accountability reviews. And if you are seen to be doing some things wrong, as much as we fine players, as much as we penalize players, as much as bad play by a player means they're going to get cut, you treat the referees the same way. Get it right. Be consistent. Nobody's 100%. We're not expecting perfection, but there does need to be accountability. And maybe that's what the leagues have to do. The leagues have to say, we're ceasing business with you. We want to see something new started, or your negotiation between the NFL and the NFL, the Referees Association, whatever they're called, and all the different sports do the same thing, saying there's going to be an accountability aspect to this, or we are not continuing with you. We will start a new organization of referees.
Well, I don't know what goes on in Major League Baseball, but it seems to me if there's a union for Major League umpires and you feel like a game has been totally botched up, let's say by Angel Hernandez, there should be some sort of complaint that Major League Baseball can issue to the Major League Umpires Association, and it would warrant a review of not only the game, but a series of games umpired by Angel Hernandez. And he could face discipline by the union. But if you go and try to, attack these guys outside the boundaries of the union's not going to have it. They're not going to allow you to do it.
Needs to be built into the union.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Condition that is expected by the sport. The sport has to say, you must have accountability or we can't do work with you. We can't do this in any other way. We're demanding that accountability be in place. And, how can you watch? I mean, you can sit like, okay, let me give you the president of whatever officiating union. Have a seat. Let's watch this. Explain this, 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 explain this. After a while, that guy's going to want some accountability. You see what I'm saying? You have to demand it.
But there's also, See, but they have officers that do that. They've got people in place that are disciplinarian.
Yeah, like internal affairs at a police station. Sure.
Well, and that's exactly right. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. But if you bring in independents, guys that will go across, if you break the agreement with this union, and then you have these guys coming in here from Little League or, from the Y basketball camps that are going to come in here and umpire or referee games, it could be an absolute joke fest. Do we want that?
Well, I'm not asking for new referees, different referees, or untrained referees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying there needs to be an accountability
exactly
held.
right.
And maybe it's a thing where the PA and the sport itself gets together and they create like a commission, that will oversee that and hold these guys accountable. Everybody needs to be held accountable, or you get this. And it's not just what's happened to the Suns. This is happening across 3 of the 4 major sports egregiously. First and 15 says, well, hockey's not as rigged as the NBA. See, you would think it was, but then you'd also find out the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball has no direct control over their own officiating, which is also kind of weird. Sensei Juan says, is anyone else disappointed the Suns haven't beat the living hell out of the Mavericks already? Honestly, I expected better. Yeah, so did we.
Yeah.
We really did. And well, here we are. President Wallet says, tuna fish, pancakes, pineapple upside down cake.
I don't understand.
I think Prison Wallet just said, watch me make this guy say tuna fish, pancakes, pineapple upside down cake. I think that's what that was. Usually we get texts like that from Senior Wake and Bake. Navy Brad says, hello, guys. The ref you need is the one that rubs the pitcher's hands down. Nope.
Yeah, that's that baloney guy. And you know what? I give a fat rip about his apology. Give me a break.
I don't believe him. I believe what he did was so obviously stupid and egregious.
Was he suspended?
He had to apologize.
Did he get in any real trouble?
No.
Is he still working?
Yes.
Big George says, I think the reason why you don't hear anything bad about NHL referees is because most of them are Canadian and they're always just apologizing.
Sorry.
Sorry.
But that's true. But see, there was an incident. Was it this season or last season? There was a brutal hit by one player on another player, and it put the guy out of off of his team for months. I don't know if he's even back. And the person in charge of the NFL or the NHL officiating, disciplinary action, whatever they call it, reviewed that, and they suspended this player. Like they suspended this guy, and this was a useless, cruel hit on this other player. He had no idea it was coming, and it injured him seriously. And it only gave this guy like a 2-game suspension or some ridiculous thing like that. You would think there would have been some sort of an investigation into this, and it would have been a more severe, punishment. But it wasn't. And he caught a lot of the league's ire for his decision. And you know what? He didn't change it. He said, "So what? That's the way it is."
You know what officials can't be influenced and are generally always going to be just right? Robots.
Huh? I mean, so in some situations, the robots help, but I think in a sport where
I was just trying to upset Randy,
kind of subjective.
Well, you're still going to have Angel Hernandez. He's still going to be behind the plate. He's still going to be on the bases.
Good Cat says, damn it, that tuna fish text just launched 3 missiles from NORAD. Son of a bitch, not again. All right, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are two different issues with two separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari on creating a well-balanced portfolio.
Are you just chasing this hot stock and that hot stock? Or do you have a plan? Do you have a balanced portfolio where you have a little bit in healthcare, a little bit in technology, a little bit maybe in energy even? How much do you have in the subsectors like communication services and technology? And then you look at all the stocks within those areas and say, okay, this is the one I like and this is the one that I don't like. But you have to have that balance. And then finding the right balance depending on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're looking for income in your portfolio, maybe you want more dividend paying stocks, or I've got 20 years, I want growth.
If you need help creating a well-balanced portfolio, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo, or go to compact.com and click on the Get Started button. Again, from your cell phone, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo, or visit compact.com and click on the Get Started button.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Got a hell of an idea. Remember last week we were talking about how the best neighbors are the ones who never talk to you?
Yes.
Yeah, here's a life hack. If you don't want people talking to you when you move into a new neighborhood, day one, mow your front yard, but put like a Fitbit watch or something on your ankle. Make them think you have an ankle monitor on you. And they'll be like, oh, no, I'm not talking to that guy. He's a criminal. That way they think you're on house arrest. They'll never bother you again.
I don't know, Jeffrey. I think you should rethink that because a wonderful neighbor I have next door to me, he likes to have the occasional cigar and he wants to sip some whiskey with me.
Yeah,
so,
you get lucky sometimes.
yeah,
For the most part, it's Arizona. We don't talk to our neighbors. You know what I mean? And yeah, I kind of miss the old school ways of being friendly with the neighbor and stuff like that. But you know what happens when you get friendly with neighbor? Like, generally drama. I don't want to be involved because here's what happened. When I moved to this house, this woman from down the street, she came walking down and I'm like, oh, here we go. And she started telling me everybody's business. She's like, well, that person over there is that, and they're like this, and those people aren't very nice over there. But this person over here, and I learned all about all these people, and I'm just like, I got to pretend to either be deaf or not know English, you know. Luckily her dog came running out and she had to go take care of it and I vanished.
I vanished.
Yeah. Poof. So, oh dear God, it's that kind of neighborhood. Connecticut texter says, I just mowed mine naked. Well, that's illegal, but also a strategy. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, earlier you sound like you were saying cannibal when you were saying accountable. I did a double take in my radio when I heard that. Did it sound like I was saying that the umpires and refs should be cannibals?
Well, they're already doing enough harm. I feel like
might as well go the rest of the way.
Worse, yeah.
Just grab Chris Paul's leg and start chewing. Commando Duke says this is like the 5th or 6th incident since the bubble that I missed that his Detroit Pistons team with Rashid and Ben Wallace, Ron Artest and company. Just that era in general. Nobody ever thought to annoy or mess with their families. Yeah, in the old school, a player is going to punch you in the mouth, but nowadays people don't seem to care. You know what it is? I think part of it's also, if this guy punches me, I'm a millionaire. Chief Skull says basketball codes, break union agreements. Is this A Few Good Men? I'd rather watch A Few Good Men. It's more interesting these last 2 games out there. Prison Wallet says it is what it is, and that is that you fell from my trap. Damn it. But I can reverse it, Randy. Watch. Cake down, upside, pineapple, pancakes, tuna fish. That just disarmed the missiles, and we're all safe now.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
that's
America.
Heroic right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The world is saved again.
Lefty, yeah. Thank you. Senior Wake and Bake says, how about you have those vegans glue themselves to the refs? Maybe that would be better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Why not? Good Cat says, day 1 of a new house, by the way, put a toilet on the lawn and hang an engine from a tree. I live in Queen Creek, right? That's already happening all around me. So that would just make them come here. You too? No. Connecticut texter. Thank you. All right. So let's see. There's only one thing left to say about the NBA, and that is Nikola Jokic. The word is the Woj bomb blue that he will be named the NBA MVP for a consecutive season. Is that the right guy?
I would have gone with Embiid.
Yeah. Denver Nuggets. What have they been doing lately?
I mean, it's a regular season award, so I'm not gonna hold it against him. That he was.
Who won the regular season? I thought it was the Suns.
It was the Suns.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, no, trust me, I understand, and who on the team wasn't even a finalist for MVP. I mean,
maybe Devin Booker.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I didn't. I wasn't going to say Devin Booker should win it, but
you guys still
finalist?
You guys still innocently think the NBA is not rigged?
I don't think the NBA is rigged because if it was rigged, you'd want to give it to a guy in the actual playoffs.
Yeah.
That would be
it for a while. They need to re-establish what the hell it means.
And the writers are the ones that decide the
writers
MVP.
again.
So, well, it always is. So that's
the damn writers.
That's who decides. Joel Embiid, I think, could have won it like every year for the last 3 years. But the other years, I wouldn't have given him the award because he was never healthy for long stretches of time. He'd always miss like 20 games in the season. He missed time this year too, but he didn't miss nearly as much time. And I thought, okay, that ought to qualify Joel Embiid, the force that he is, for the MVP award. And clearly that was not the writers did not agree.
Nikola Jokic, look, the guy is, what is he, like 16 feet tall? He's a center, but he plays like a point guard. The guy is light on his feet. He can shoot the baskets. He's a very valuable asset to the Nuggets, even though the team is not a perennial championship favorite. This guy is just amazing. You put him on a team where he can actually make some hay and have somebody around him, have a cast of characters around him. And that could be, the makings of bring Nikola Jokic here to Phoenix and put him in there where DeAndre Ayton's supposed to be. We just like slice through the NBA like butter.
Well, we had been slicing through the NBA like butter before.
Well, I mean, like the Pelicans thing, that would have been a moot point. The Mavericks thing, moot point. I mean, it would just not even be real.
I actually wonder what the Nuggets are going to do with Jamal Murray, a guy we've forgotten about because he hasn't played basketball
in like torn ACL.
A year. Yeah, I mean it's been a really long time since we've last seen Jamal Murray. And I do hope the guy comes back because they were scarier and more dangerous when he was out there playing alongside Nicola. With just Nicola, they can't win a championship or even compete for one.
888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, Sun's biggest challenge right now is protecting Devin Booker from getting kneecapped by Shams after he stole his Coach of the Year announcement tweet. Oh, really? Says Devin Booker broke that? Boogie says, NBA MVP is a popularity contest amongst the top 10 players. Well, as voted for by, as Keon said, the writers. Blissful Hayes says, is Time Lord playing tonight for the Celtics, or is he hurt again?
No, he's out. He's out, and it's showing early in the ball game here with the Bucks on top of the Celtics, 16-8 with 5:39 to go in the first.
Let's see. Dropping the soap says, tell Randy that Ohtani should have gotten the NBA MVP. He deserves it.
Absolutely. He's doing things in baseball that's never been done before since Babe Ruth. I just give it to him right now. Absolutely.
I don't know why, but that text cracked me up.
Just give him the NBA MVP too. Just
he should have the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, the NFL. He should have all of them. Shohei Ohtani should be the damn MVP of every league, including the Holiday Park Little League. He should have them all.
Beer Bob says, Randy calling something rigged makes him sound like Skull.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move on to the good news. When I said this before, it was bad. When I'm saying this now is good. What the hell is going on with the Diamondbacks, Randy? They've won 7 out of 10 since beating the Dodgers 2-1 at the end of April. So they've won like 13 games. I'm sorry, like 10 games. It's just crazy. We were all down on the Diamondbacks. Should we still be cautious, or are we starting to feel something good's going on here?
Well, their pitching is what's actually holding them up. They're able to have some great pitching. They've had some great starts, except for Bologna Sandwich taking our ace Mad Bum and feeling his hand up and getting his jollies and then throwing him out of the damn game. I mean, other than that, Zach Gallen is doing a great job. Merrill Kelly's doing a great job. Tonight on the hill is that Castanelligo or what's the
Castanedas?
Yeah, Castanedas. That guy. Anyway, they took 2 or 3 from a very good Colorado Rockies team. They're above 500. They're still in the cellar of the National League West, but not for long. I mean, the Giants are not playing up to their potential, and looks like Diamondbacks could be on the move here. But it's their pitching. It's their pitching.
Well, in the MLB power rankings, they're at number 15 right now. They're right dead center of everything, and they're a 500 team. Here's what Matt Snyder from CBS said about having them at 15. He said, last week, I said the Diamondbacks wouldn't raise above 19 for the rest of the season. And here I am with my accountability in the form of a top half appearance. Of course, they have the exact same record they had through 29 games last year. So, but this year, nobody expected anything. Last year, we had expectations, didn't we? We had some expectations and we were disappointed. This year, no expectations. And look at them. They're right there, middle of the pack. Middle of the pack was more than we could have hoped for. The way this team was shaping up.
Well, in the power rankings, they're still in the cellar in the National League West, and I don't anticipate them making a
that's
run
not
at
the
power.
That's the standings, the overall standings. They're right
15th team in baseball. Okay. Well, that's right now. And keep in mind, there's been a lot of good teams that have not been playing well. I'm surprised to see the Boston Red Sox in the basement in the National League East, and the damn Orioles are better than them. I'm surprised to see that. I'm surprised that the White Sox are not leading the American League Central. So that's the weird, thing about baseball. Teams can get hot. They can have a good streak. They can go along. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of games left to play, Jeffrey, but it's their pitching that's keeping them competitive.
Well, keep them pitchers' arms nice and loosened up, and maybe we have a much better season than we never had imagined. I'll tell you what, enjoy it while you can.
Absolutely.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying World Series. We're not saying playoffs. We're saying enjoy it while you can.
Yep.
Very, very pleasant and happy surprise. That is for sure. Other things happened over the weekend that we're going to talk about here in the next hour. Also, we've got NFL quarterbacks. God is my witness. I'm going to talk some NFL quarterbacks in the 5 o'clock hour.
I know you will.
So don't distract me. I got stuff to do here. All right. It's the Daily Blender, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours down and 1 to go here on 1580 The Fanatic. If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Contractors, listen up. This is Bruce Jacobs. Are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go, serving all types of contractors of any size and license in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmbdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmbdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. All right, so we got a game going and another game later on at 7 p.m. I'll tell you what, the Golden State and Memphis series, all of them got interesting, didn't they? You could almost say it was rigged, but I wouldn't do that. Boston and Milwaukee right now. Boston is a man down, and they are feeling it. What's the score right now? Or have they clawed back, or is it getting ugly?
Well, it hasn't gotten ugly yet. They're still kind of holding where they are, but they haven't clawed back either. Score is 25-18 at the end of the first quarter.
There you go. And then, of course, Golden State has Memphis coming to town. It should be another blowout. And then, of course, the 76ers, they're coming back with a vengeance. James Harden has come alive now that Embiid is back out there. It's just, I guess that's the design. It's like, Harden is 4 cylinders, Embiid is 4 cylinders, and without all cylinders on it, I guess it ain't gonna work. But right now, it seems to be working.
Well, I think that the Sixers could survive without Harden. I don't know that they could survive without Embiid because James Harden, the explosiveness that he used to have, he doesn't have that anymore.
Right.
But when Embiid is back, James Harden doesn't see double teams.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's James Harden one-on-one with the guy. And James Harden loves that. That he will destroy anybody. It's just, one-on-one. And he took full advantage of it. And Tyrese Maxey still played well too. So the whole Sixers team is firing on all cylinders right now.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and enjoy myself some Golden State Memphis action a little bit later on. Right now, we've been talking a little bit of baseball and other things that happened over the weekend that aren't that. One thing that happened, one last thing in the baseball there, Randy. Did you see that umpire who got tricked into calling a batter out?
Oh, no.
See, what happened was it was one of your people, by the way. The catcher, so the ball comes in, boom, he catches the ball, and the guy, it's check swing, and he stops, and the catcher turns and says, tip foul. And so then the umpire went, you're out. He never touched the bat. Oh my God. It was one of the worst things you've ever seen. And by the way, the name of the umpire is Jeff Nelson. And he just said, okay, yeah, he's out. It's like, what? No, if you didn't see it yourself, you can't call it.
That's just lazy. That's what that is. That's not malicious or anything like that. That's just lazy.
Can I tell you though, when I would sit there, I've got an app on my phone, and it's a scorer app. What do I have it on here for? This app is on my phone because my 2 boys like to play basketball, and they want me to be the ref and scorekeeper. So we go out there, and I'm keeping track of the score, so nobody can argue what the real score is. And and I'm also out there playing ref. I got news for you. Sometimes I get distracted. And so you say, foul. And I'll be like, yeah, it's foul. I don't get paid. That's not what I do for a living, or I just sort of like, okay, who's been more annoying lately? Yeah, that's not a foul, or that is. I try to be fair, but sometimes I don't see it. And if I don't see it, then it's just sort of like, I'll just be, and then I'll tell them honestly, sorry, I couldn't tell from here. So
like any good athlete will do. If it's close and you can sell it, you might get the call. And that's just happened. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you seen a base runner? What do you mean, but?
I'm not taking anything away from the athlete, but the umpire, if you didn't see it, don't call it.
Yeah, well, basketball, same thing. If you can sell it, and you might get the call. NFL football, same thing. How many times have we seen, a running back who's dropped short and he puts the ball ahead, and they spot the ball ahead? You see what I'm saying?
If
I don't blame sell it.
I don't blame the player for that at all. It's up to the official to actually make sure that they're looking at the thing or, measuring whatever properly so that we have, fair calls, good calls.
He has to do something. What if he blinked? What if he blinked and he's like, oh, okay. You probably don't take the word of the guy whose job it is to help the other guy whose job it is to get strikes. And
during the game, as a catcher, I was trained a lot of times. If a guy goes around and does a check swing, you know what? Ask for an appeal. And you'll see that a lot of times during a baseball game. You see the catcher, if it's a right-handed batter, you'll see him point to first base asking for an appeal. The umpire will give him the appeal, and the guy will either go, no, he didn't go around, or yes, he did. That was a strike. So, yeah, that's just, if you can sell it.
And a lot of catchers will also reframe the ball. Hey, that was a ball, but I'm going to move it back into the strike area just to see.
Oh, you see that a lot.
If, old umpires paying attention.
See, I'm kind of old school. I wasn't taught to kind of grab and pull. I was taught to catch it if it's borderline and turn your glove to the umpire so he could see the ball. and then he can kind of make the judgment. And one of the hardest things was those low pitches, because you want to go down and get it, and I would have to kind of catch the ball up, and you want to in a motion, the same motion as catching the ball, you want to catch a low pitch and bring it up and show the umpire. And a lot of times I got a lot of pitches that way from my pitcher. A lot of times a guy would be maybe an inch outside or an inch high or an inch low, and I could frame those in and get him some calls during if you can sell it, sell it.
Moist One says it was actually catcher's interference. So there was a sound. It was just a bat to glove sound, not a bat to ball sound. He says, by the way, grab and pull, that's not old school. That's old fashioned. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, to the texter calling Keon Phil, here's a huge difference, sir or madam. You see Keon is a PTO. What's a PTO? Keon's a PTO, and like yourself, Phil is a hoe.
I am so confused right now.
I actually because Keon's so sleek and powerful, a lot of horsepower. You mean GTO?
Oh, you know what I think it is? I think, let me look at the keyboard. Yeah, the T is right now. He says Keon's a pro, and like yourself, Phil is a hoe. I have to check the keyboard sometimes.
Well, now that I understand what you're saying, I thank you.
Mr. Pringle says it's Monday, May 9th, and the Lakers still suck. Well, that he is correct about. Yes. Navy Brad says, Randy, NASCAR question: best track to race at, worst track to race at?
Clearly a personal preference. It's hard to say. I mean, this past weekend they were at Darlington, a very old traditional track. It's hard on tires. If you're a guy that's you like a loose race car, and your tires, as they start to go bad, you can handle the car better with a loose setup in it. You have no problem with it. Other tracks have brand new kind of high tech, like at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, a high tech asphalt surface there now. Your tires aren't going to be the issue, and a lot of grip in this track, and you'll be able to race. It really kind of depends on your personal preference. For me, I love Phoenix Raceway, always have, but I'm kind of biased. I was born and raised here. And then I love the super speedways. And probably third, I would have to go with one of the old greats. I like Darlington. A lot of character to that track. It's egg shaped. It's not a correct oval, and they had to build it that way because of property lines. And it's just a grand old track. So there you go.
Fifth letter says it's Monday, May the 9th, and the Suns still have 0 championships.
Well played.
Blocked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it. All right. Speaking of tracks, here's something about another track. How about the Kentucky Derby? When we did our picks, this guy was not an option, and almost, was Keon's alternate option. Remember we were talking about Ethereal Road? I said, I thought you'd take that guy, and you're like, oh, I almost did. Well, he got scratched. He dropped out. So then this Rich Strike got put in and won the whole damn thing. 80-1 odds. Wow. How
would you have
that?
Loved to have about $500 on that?
I would love to have $1 on that.
Yeah, that's still
I'd have $80, right? Or is that not how it works?
80-1? I think so.
Yeah,
I think so too. Right.
So Rich Strike won the Kentucky Derby, second biggest upset in the history. I don't know how do you decide biggest upset?
Oh, I do think it's literally just the odds.
I was quite upset. But the payout on Rich Strike was $163 to win. In 1913, Donerail had a higher payout at $184 to win. So, okay, that happens and doesn't hurt me. Mattress Mac, however.
Oh no!
I got to watch the video of him watching it happen. You can tell look at his face. He's like, "Oh God, I don't know. Who is this horse?
Who did he bet on again?"
He had the second place horse.
Wow.
Who is? I remember him talking about it, but I already forgot who the second place horse is. And oh damn, I've already forgotten the name of the horse. But
Poopy Pants McGee.
Epicenter,
right? And
Epicenter.
Mattress Mac hasn't won in a long time. Eventually, here's what he said. He turns the camera. He says, "That's sports betting. You win some, you lose some, and sometimes you get rained out." next. I'm like, next? No, that's 1-800-NEXT-STEP Mattress Mac.
Stop.
You may have a problem.
Wow.
I mean, like, don't just say that that's sports betting. He has failed in bets that are just between one of two teams. It's not like the horse racing. That's tough because you got a bunch of horses you can choose from. There's almost always some surprise. The Super Bowl, the World Series, he keeps getting all of these things wrong.
Yeah, he has lost so much money. He has lost money on Major League Baseball, on the NFL, on college athletics. He lost money on the Astros, Tom Brady and the Bucks, on the Alabama,
the national
Crimson
title
Tide.
game. Yeah.
He lost money so many different places, but I don't know at what point, because he didn't look happy, but he was just like, well, here we go. What's up? What's next? Eventually, he's going to have to turn to the camera and be like,
that's all of it.
I have nothing.
I have nothing left.
He'll turn the camera, whoever's holding, he's like, can I get a ride? I have nothing. I'm going to need a ride home. And by the way, can I stay with you for a while? Complete stranger. So that happened over the weekend. By the way, last week, I don't know what kind of, how things went. I don't think Sergio Garcia won anything at the Wells Fargo Championship. But did you see that, Randy, where he kind of lost his bleep? He got very frustrated, and typical Sergio Garcia fashion, he just starts chirping at a guy. And then eventually, I don't know if we have the audio for that or not, but eventually he just starts telling off an official.
Well, he's talking about this new league, and he's like, a couple of weeks, I'm not going to have to deal with you anymore. In a couple of weeks, I'm out of here. I'm not going to have to play games here.
Yeah, and he was just trying to find his ball, and the guy, I guess, was going to penalize him for taking too long, and he just starts shouting. He just starts shouting at the guy across the
Come on, man, that's stupid. Come on. And a few expletives in there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize until I watched that clip how good you're Sergio Garcia.
No, thank you, Ken. There's a little something in your paycheck for you.
I there's no camp on it. It's dead damn on. It's
perfect. I didn't
realize it either until I saw him yelling at this guy. But I guess he's heading for the Saudi tour then.
He's going to the Saudi tour, where I guess he's going to be making a bundle of money in appearance fees. And I still don't know what Phil Mickelson's going to do.
Little advice for Sergio Garcia, though. Don't lip off to the Saudis. What you just did there, you end up folded up into a suitcase and dropped somewhere.
In pieces.
Yeah. Does the word chum mean anything to you, Sergio? Don't.
In a couple of weeks, I'm not going to have to deal with you anymore. I'll be out of here.
The Saudis have lots of oil. I imagine they have some empty oil barrels lying around.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to do this to me in a couple of weeks. It's going to be much better in the new league. I can't wait to get out of here.
To be actually honest, Sergio was right. The guy should have given him more time. He started counting time at the wrong time, and Sergio was supposed to still have some time left.
There you go, officiating. There you go.
Still, we may never hear from Sergio again if he cracks off at somebody over there.
Listen to me, you towel-wearing guy.
Jesus.
Why don't you go get your sandals loosened up?
Is Sergio a racist? I didn't realize that about Sergio.
He might be. He'll say the wrong thing. Trust me. I mean, and if the guy is wearing a towel, he's wearing a towel. It's not racist. It's just an observation. Is that a dish towel, or is that like is that like a bath towel? I mean, is that a chamois? So and then here's another thing that happened over the weekend. And people are losing their minds over this. And maybe they should. It caused a big debate online this weekend. A couple named Ben and Cammie Crawford. They're exercise nuts from Kentucky, which is fine. If you're an exercise nut, power to you. They got 6 kids, though. They run a YouTube channel called Fight for Together. And they're in the news because last week they just let their 6-year-old son run a full marathon.
What?
In Cincinnati, all 26.2 miles. Now, the kid's name is Rainer, which, by the way, can you guys stop naming your kids stupid stuff? Anyway, so Rainer, first time the whole family had run together, the other 5 kids had done marathons. Ben and Cammie says, well, he begged us to do it, and they never forced him. But people think maybe he was pressured because they did admit Rainer started crying when there was nothing left at the snacks table with 6 miles to go.
No.
So they said, we'll get you some Pringles if you keep going. And so then he ended up finishing. By the way, took the kid 8 hours, 35 minutes. You know, you're just holding up everybody trying to go home at that point. What? 6-year-old can't run a marathon. You shouldn't be allowed to run a marathon if you're 6. And no 6-year-old just wakes up just like, yeah, I'm going to run a marathon. Mom, Dad, let's do this. Of course the kid was pressured into it. Part of their YouTube bull crap and stuff. And you should not be having a kid run, unless he really, and then you say, well, we don't want to make people wait 4 extra hours, so you can live your dream.
Well,
was he run the equivalent of a marathon?
Was he the only one on the course
at 8 hours and a half in?
I don't know, Jeffrey. There are a lot of people out there running their first marathons that are out there. Some of them are 9 hours.
No. Listen, unless it's for the handicapped or whatever, people trying to do a thing, and they should have special things for people trying to do a thing. I respect and all that, but as far as running a marathon goes, if you can't get it done under 6 hours, you should not be out there.
Wow.
Guess what? Closing shop, everybody. If you're running, just stop running, get on a bus. We need to end this. I mean, what is the average marathon is about 4 hours. So I'm giving you 2 extra hours. If you can't get there in 6 hours, you shouldn't be trying to run a marathon. You're not ready for it. Am I wrong?
What's the average?
Around 4 hours and 21 minutes is the average.
That's the average for men or for everybody. What's the average for the ladies? Because I know
it just says the global average. So for everybody, with men,
you're gonna get in trouble, man.
With men, the average time is 4 hours and 13 minutes, and with women, the average time is 4 hours and 42 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah.
See how I pulled on the sails and she's like, whoa, we're not going in that waters. So I'm giving you 6 hours. If you can't get done under 6 hours, you shouldn't be out there. Agree or disagree?
I don't know if I agree.
I mean, I'm more in line to agree, but also I'm never going to run a marathon. So,
but there are people.
Who am I speaking for?
there are people. That's their goal, and they've been working hard.
7 hours. Well, you can keep running, but the lights are off. There's no more confetti. The finish line is gone. Just use your GPS to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So how about 7? Is 7 hours fair? If you can't do it in under 7, just don't come out.
Like I said, I would agree. Because if I were to ever run a marathon, if you tell me like a third of the hours of a day is what I am spending running this, no, thank you. I'm out.
Somebody needs to call Child Protective Services because this poor kid. Did we ever find out did he get his Pringles?
Well, I think he did probably. Yeah. If there was no snacks left, he probably did.
Of course, now the people who run the event are like, ooh, well, this was age limit of 18. I think we need to start enforcing this.
Well, look, congratulations to
a 6-year-old doesn't know they have the right to stop when they want.
Well, but the kid stayed with it. How many people can keep a 6-year-old on task for longer than 10 minutes?
Pringles can.
Especially in a health nut family. How often do you think that kid even has Pringles?
Pringles are a magical, mystical treat.
Yeah, well, that in a vacuum-packed can. Yes.
I just opened up a can. There's nothing better when and you eat those first couple of Pringles.
So good.
Yeah. All right, we have to take a break. We come back as God is my witness. We're talking NFL quarterbacks. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
2 NBA playoff games coming up on Tuesday evening. The Suns play host to the Mavericks. Phoenix a 6-point favorite, over under at 213. And Miami plays host to the Sixers. Miami a 3-point favorite, the over under at 209.5. Each of those series are even at 2 games apiece. The Golden State Warriors now have the best odds to win the NBA championship, jumping back over the Phoenix Suns. The Warriors are paying out at plus 210 on the money line. The Suns pay out at plus 330. Then the Bucks paying out at plus 450, and the Heat at plus 650. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
You retire only once, so you've got to stick the landing. There are many choices to make when you retire, but choosing the right advisor might be the most important one you ever make. The right advisor can help you avoid mistakes, avoid income shortfall later in life, and help you grow your money with smarter investments. To retire comfortably, you need to know that all your bills are paid, your investments are well chosen, and your income is secure for life. The IQ Wealth Smarter Bucketing System does all of this for you by separating your money into clear and distinct buckets, each with its own specific task and time deadline. You retire only once, but Steve Jurich at IQ Wealth Management helps people retire and stay retired every day.
Advisory services by IQ Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor, custodian Fidelity. Get smart and decisive in 2021. Let's meet soon. Visit IQWealth.com, IQWealth.com, IQWealth.com.
A sapiosexual is a person who's attracted to intelligence. Do you choose brains over beauty? Like mind over muscle? Prefer Shakespeare?
To be or not to be?
To a puppeteer?
Hey, which one's the dummy?
So if you are sapiosexual and your current conversation is about to get, shall we say, intellectually stimulating, reach for Shakespeare Vodka, a thoughtfully engineered spirit with pure, smooth flavor that tastes like poetry in a bottle. Shakespeare Vodka, the taste of intelligence.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is your exclusive home for the 6-time world champion Indoor Football League's Arizona Rattlers.
All right, listen up.
Tune in to The Fanatic for all the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Listen as the Rattlers work toward the playoffs and their 7th world championship in team history.
Let's keep it going.
Arizona Rattlers football, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, listen, we're in the midst of the baseball season, and you can go yard all May long with $5 Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel Sportsbook. Now, this season, all customers will get $5 for every home run hit by both teams when you place $25 to hit a home run wager on Tuesday MLB games. And the best part about Dinger Tuesdays is even if your bet loses, FanDuel will pay you $5 for every home run. So what are you waiting for? Pick your home run hitter and turn big swings into big wins. For the Snakes, they're in town tonight. They open up a series against the Marlins. I got to take Christian Walker. He's been hot lately. I got to take Christian Walker. They're bringing up that rookie, too. Can't think of his name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Bob.
No, it's not Bob.
Carl?
No, it's not Carl.
Sid.
No. No. Anyway, they're bringing that rookie up. That would be a good bet on a Tuesday game. Take him in the lineup because usually when guys come up, they're all juiced up, ready to go. Not like
Wait a minute.
Poor taste of words there. Let's see. They're all excited. They got the adrenaline flow. Amped up. Okay. Well, that could be awesome. Anyway, there's my picks, either Christian Walker or the new rookie. So what are you waiting for? Pick your home run hitter, turn big swings into big wins. No better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Head over to your FanDuel account now or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and use promo code Randy1580. That's Randy1580 so they know I sent you. 21 and older, present in Arizona. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Jeffco?
I am confused by Hefty Lefty's text. He says the blender just went ASMR and I went from 6 to midnight. What is he talking about? ASMR it's a I don't know, like massage? What is it?
No, ASMR is the thing where people make different like sounds and stuff, and it's supposed to, may give you head tingles and
what is
light
going
up
from
your brain?
6 to midnight mean?
No, I don't know that one. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what are you talking. I was eating some Pringles there just a second ago. Is that what you're talking about?
I think that's the noises that he's referring to. I don't know.
Were those Pringles?
Yes. Oh yeah.
That just made me
no
hungry.
better Pringle than what flavor? What's the best flavor?
The original.
No. Sour cream and onion. Sour cream and onion
is really good.
Is the best Pringle. I could eat those forever. I get slowed down on the original and I get slowed down on the cheddar cheese, but the sour cream and onion, I could tear through an entire, all of it. Many potatoes will go down. So Hefty Lefty, if that's what you're talking about, you're welcome. Blissful Hayes says beer. I guess Blissful Hayes was like a beer. It's kind of rude. You could say please or say what kind you want. You don't need to just shout out. Chief Skull says, I'll never run a marathon, but those had better be dill pickle chips if you ever want me to try them. No, just although my wife did bring some of those vinegar and salt ones or whatever, those Pringles. I could eat like 1 or 2 at a time. It's like,
the jalapeno one's really good too.
So is it a good thing that I was chewing on the chips or not? Because I'm still not understanding what Hefty Lefty was saying. Senior Wake and Bake says, screw the Saudis. This is America. Okay, ease up there, Senior Wake and Bake. We were having a little fun with it, but this is not a meeting. Okay. Random Texter says, if Sergio mouths off to the Saudis, we're going to find him in a barrel at the bottom of Lake Mead in 25 years. Did you hear about that? I see you're new around here. We have a giant reservoir. We have more than a couple, but we have a giant reservoir. And it now, because of the droughts and stuff, it is the lowest levels it's been since like the 70s, since they filled it.
Right.
And now they're finding bodies.
Oh my God.
They are finding bodies. And they're like, well, we found a fella here, and you can tell by his shoe wear and what he's wearing. It's probably from the 70s. All right.
Okay. A little terrifying.
More than cold cases are about to get solved, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dropping the Soap says, does Randy do an impersonation of Sergio Garcia? Doing an impersonation of Dusty Rhodes? Oh, so does Randy do an impersonation of Sergio Garcia trying to do an impersonation of Dusty Rhodes?
So you think I watched this WWARP or whatever it is? This WWARP? The Dead Wrestlers Association? Is that what you think that I do? I won the Masters, man. I don't waste time with the WWARP.
So I guess that's a no dropping the soap. That's a no.
I can't wait for this new league. I won't have to take this from you.
Big George says, I think what people need to do is start fading Mattress Mac. Whatever team he picks, pick the opposite. Kind of reminds me of a former co-host. Let's see. Blissful Hayes says, I was guessing the Diamondbacks rookie player Randy was speaking about there. Beer. Oh.
Seth Beer, no. They brought up a new kid.
He's up already.
I'm still looking it up. But they brought up this new kid, and he's supposed to be. Is that what? Yeah, that sounds familiar. That might be him.
I know he's one of their top prospects. I don't recall.
Alec Thomas. Yeah. Okay. Alec Thomas will Was it Alec Thomas? Yeah, I guess he came up yesterday. So he'll be in action tonight. He'll be in action tomorrow night. And listen, I'd put a $5 dinger on that kid.
Hefty Lefty says, a guy at work says his friend from school hit the exacta bet at the Derby. He got places 1 through 4 correct, turned his $100 bet into $238,000. I'm assuming he didn't go into work today. I don't know. 238 is not enough for you to not go to work, but how in the hell did he get? Why would you put $100 with Rich Strike? As
like your winning horse.
Yeah, because it was there.
Unless you're just like, 80 to 1. If I land this, if you are putting 100 on that, you're
drinking.
You gamble a lot.
Yeah.
And 1-800 next step, it's there for you.
That's just dumb luck. It's like, or he had he's like, hey honey, what do you think? I like Rich Strike. I like that. And then it had somebody just sounds good. Honey.
He had too many mint juleps.
This could mean the difference between a steak dinner for you and a burger at the drive-thru. All right. I think I got something wrong though in our last segment. Now I think it's probably wrong to make a 6-year-old run a marathon, but the fact that it's happened is a valuable tool for anybody who's a parent. Okay. What do you mean you can't go upstairs and pick up your room? This kid ran 26.2 miles and, he did it. And you can get up there and clean your room. If this kid can run 26.2 miles
for some Pringles.
That's right. I'll give you Pringles. You clean your damn room. Huh? All right. So let's talk some NFL quarterbacks. I've been waiting to do this and we're actually going to do it. So let's do this. So the odds are here. And Kenny Pickett has the best odds to be offensive rookie of the year. And as you know, Mr. Pickett is the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, they haven't made it official, but if you look at who's waiting there, Kenny Pickett's the official starting quarterback for the Steelers.
Man, unless he just comes out in training camp, it looks like a disaster. Yeah.
He's a 5-1 favorite right there. To win this. And of course, Drake London is he's 6-1 odds right now. Here's the rest of the rookie of the year odds. Traylon Burks, he's at plus 700. AJ Brown is gone, so that's helped him move up a bit. Jets running back Breece Hall, he's a tailback at plus 850. Garrett Wilson on the Jets is a receiver. He's at plus 900. Seahawks running back Ken Walker III has 10-1 odds for obvious reasons. They don't have a quarterback. Lions receiver Jameson Williams has 10-1 odds. No other quarterback seems to matter. I mean, Malik Willis is at plus 1,300,
but he might not start. So because Tannehill's still there. They're going to use the time to develop Malik. He may not play at all year 1.
So I think Kenny Pickett has a pretty good shot at that. If not, it's going to be probably Drake London if he turns out to be as good as he's supposed to be. Of course, I just don't know who's throwing to Drake London right now. Who are the Falcons saying is their quarterback right now?
Well, the Falcons aren't saying anything about who their quarterback is right now.
No, they're going to wait. Yeah,
Baker Mayfield.
They're going to quarterback battle it. They did draft Desmond Ridder, who they like a lot. I don't know if Desmond Ridder is going to be a year 1 kind of guy, but again, in a similar fashion to Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh, who else is on the roster? he could wind up winning that job.
Keon, where did that quarterback for North Carolina go?
Sam Howell?
Yeah.
She went to the
Washington.
Commandos.
Yeah.
He went to you guys.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that guy is a sleeper pick because
he's on a sleeper team.
Well, I think you.
I was stunned he was there in the 5th round. I really was.
Yeah. I have a feeling about that kid.
I do too. I think it's a really good pick, and it's good Carson Wentz insurance. That makes me feel a little bit better about the whole trade, because it's like, okay, now we've got a guy who was graded a 1st round talent, somehow fell all the way to the 5th because everybody in the NFL was just out on all of these quarterbacks. Hey, you might be able to find something that you can use.
All right. So Robert Saleh says Zach Wilson he has seen him progress physically and mentally. Physically, he's bulked up in the right ways. He's a little bit more sturdy, and I guess mentally, he doesn't really say mentally what it is. So all I'm guessing is that Zach Wilson has blocked his mom on all social media. Maybe doesn't talk to her, but maybe once a week on the phone. Stays off her Instagram. That's the only way. That's the only way. But I mean, did you see enough of Zach Wilson last year to think, yeah, okay, they'll be fine this year? Did he just need these tools, or I kind of felt like, I don't know, I think this guy might be a dud.
I saw some things, especially as the year went on. He felt a little bit more comfortable. He's got all of the tools, and I mean by not just the weapons that they've drafted, but like physically, he's got the arm, he's got the mobility, he's got the quick release. But he's got to, get to the point where he understands what he's looking at out there, which I assume is what Robert Saleh meant mentally. And people forget, man, when Josh Allen was coming out of that rookie year, you would have thought he was a dud too. He was terrible. And I'm not saying that he's going to make the Josh Allen kind of jump, but the game slows down for a guy coming from rookie to sophomore season. So I want to see if he's able to process the game a whole lot faster. And hey, having some players who can bail you out of tough situations doesn't hurt at all.
Mom, I can't talk right now. Hefty Lefty says, I had to block Zach Wilson's mom on Tinder. That cougar is relentless.
Oh my God.
Jeez. So I let out an audible guttural response when Malik Willis went past the Colts. And, of course, we were surprised that the Seahawks did not grab Malik Willis. And now I'm starting to think my GM knew what he was talking about, because quite a few people passed on Malik Willis and he dropped to 86. And the basic story is, and that's what the Seahawks are pretty much saying, he just wasn't ready. He's not NFL ready. You needed time. Now, I felt like, okay, well, he'd have time with the Colts. He'd have time to learn behind Matt Ryan and from the coaching and whatnot. But I guess the needs were different for the Colts. And I guess, the Seahawks, can I just say this, though? They also say they're not going to trade for a veteran quarterback. And then he's like, well, no, there's doubling down on Drew Lock, saying, oh, Drew Lock would be a first-round pick right now. If they're doubling down on tanking. The Seahawks are tanking, and you can't convince me otherwise. It's an obvious tank job. Come on, man.
Because nobody has that high of an assessment of Drew Lock. Like, okay, yeah, he would be a top quarterback if he came out this year. That is true. But the other part of it that you're leaving out when you say that is we've already seen Drew Lock in the NFL. He's hit the ceiling, and there's nothing else above that. The elevator does not go up any more floors with that guy as your quarterback. Whereas Malik Willis, you don't know. And everybody knew, by the way, that Malik Willis wasn't year one ready. That wasn't a secret to anybody.
I thought, though, a good fixer-upper. And maybe that's on me because I'm looking for a project car to work on, so I see, potential in things that maybe the potential's not as great in. But Malik Willis has the physical tools and ability with the right training to be, a good quarterback. So still bummed the Colts didn't take it. But this to me says right here, Seahawks are coming to town to tank.
You're never going to convince me. You saw Drew Lock and you were like, that's our best option at quarterback to win this year. No, it's not.
No, man, that's okay. Because if Drew Lock gets hurt, we got Geno Smith and Jacob Eason.
Oh,
Pete Carroll, shame on you. Shame on you for what you are doing. You are tanking with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Wait, no, that's all right.
Stands for poo.
Yeah. Listen, Amber Heard's here. Now listen, here's what we got to do. I still have more quarterbacks to talk about, but we're pretty much out of time. So we come back. We'll have On This Date in Big Georgia sports history. We'll spin a wheel of sports, but tomorrow, as God is my witness, I will talk more NFL quarterbacks. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
Uncertain times can lead to fearful investing, which could leave you in a bad spot, especially if you're trading on emotion. When tumult opens and closes the market, you need sound advice.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. If fear has you in its grips, it's time to take a look at your investments. At Compact Asset Management, we specialize in providing complete wealth management solutions to help you reach your financial goals, no matter where the market goes. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say talk to Mo for a free portfolio review. We will also discuss how we can work together to create your customized retirement plan. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say talk to Mo and let us help you take the fear out of your portfolio. Again, call pound 250 on the cell phone and say talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
What do a 450-year-old author and a bottle of 4 times distilled vodka have in common? Let's compare Shakespeare, shall we? Shakespeare, the man, the epitome of playwriting, the OG of live theater, the standard by which all others are compared. Shakespeare, the vodka, an original Polish spirit crafted from a recipe 12 centuries old with an unwavering attention to smoothness and purity, the standard by which all others should be compared. Maybe they're not so different after all. Shakespeare vodka is the Shakespeare of vodkas.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So here's the deal, everybody. There's a certain time of year, I say from September all the way until just kind of like recently, where we do what we call the weekly Fanatic sheets for all the hosts to hold on to. And it says all the different play-by-play and what's coming up. And, it gets a little quieter this time of year, so we stopped putting those out. But I just noticed, and it bears mentioning, we've got some stuff happening this weekend on 1580 The Fanatic. We've got the Arizona Rattlers happening on, this is different. Now, I thought it was going to be at 6, but it looks like now it's at 5. So the Arizona Rattlers game will be at 5 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. And then on Sunday, got a race, the NCS at Darlington, Randy?
Darlington was last weekend.
Okay, well, there's a thing there. So is there some race this weekend?
There is some race, but it's not Darlington.
I know, I'm just saying that it might be a typo.
There is a race, though. Yeah.
So I'm sure whatever that is, we'll have it on 1580 The Fanatic. Sure, it's just a typo. Somebody sitting there typing, putting stuff in, maybe even named me. Here's what we got. The Advent Health 400. Does that
okay? That sounds right. Yes.
Ring a bell from the Kansas Speedway NASCAR Cup Series?
Yeah, Kansas Speedway quickly becoming one of the most popular tracks on the circuit. Kansas City has done just an amazing job. They've got a big casino out there, a great hotel out there, like for lots of people. The track is a great track, and they're trying to make it a real destination stop on the NASCAR circuit. So it should be a lot of fun. The race will be in Kansas this weekend. I was in the middle of looking it up. I'm looking for retribution after last week's or yesterday's race with Joey Logano.
Oh crap! What do you do now?
William Byron. Well, it was the closing laps of the race. Joey Logano had been fast all day. He was the pole setter. William Byron was leading the race. But listen, his tires were gone. Joey Logano had done a better job with his tires. He went up and he bumped William Byron and moved him out of the way, kind of bumped him into the wall, and went on to win the race. And so a lot of people are all up in arms. I don't see what the big deal is. Dale Earnhardt Sr., one of the most beloved NASCAR stars ever, used to do that with regularity. That's why he got his name, the Intimidator. He used to move guys out of the way. And there's legendary stories about that. Everybody just quit barking about, oh, he's a terrible driver. You know what? He did what he had to do to win the race, and you would do the same thing.
All right. So that sounds like it'll be a fun race and interesting to see what happens after what you just said about Logano being
well, Byron, who's sponsored by Liberty University, by the way, one of the big sponsors, he got out of the car and had a few expletives for Joey Logano, and they called him a moron, and he just has to run through people to win and that sort of thing. So
fun. It makes it more fun, doesn't it?
People said the same thing about Dale Earnhardt Sr.
So there's another thing that's happening this week, and you guys are going to love this. And the morning show, not going to love it much. Well, on Thursday.
Sounds like we get more time off.
At 5 p.m. We'll have a NFL schedule release special brought to you by Westwood One and 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Thursday at 5. All right.
That's right. And that'll give me plenty of time to get home before the Suns game starts. So that's what's happening here on 1580 The Fanatic this week. So there you go. Let's see here. Senior Wake and Bake says, Keon, I think no one wants Carson Wentz insurance, not for their cars, their homes, or even for themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Fubar 1000 says, hiya, Blender Bros. Just want to say howdy to the greatest show on earth and hello, Fourth Dimension. Thanks, Fubar. Appreciate that. Hey. Hitting the Nuts says, hello, guys. I made it to Florida. I'm alive and well. Broke down 100 miles into Texas. Had to wait for AAA about 3 hours. Thankfully, the fix was only 120. Yeah, but 3 more hours in Texas.
Yeah. And also 100 miles into Texas coming from the West Texas is like the worst part of Texas.
Mm-hmm. You see, here's the thing. If you're ever going to travel, here's a pro tip. If you're going to travel through Texas, and just in case, in your emergency equipment, you should have a 10-gallon hat. That way, you put that thing on. People are like, evening. And that's it. They don't mess with you, He says, currently enjoying some Blender after dark.
After dark.
Yeah, he says, poor dogs had to stay in my truck during the tow, but my dog, Doug, he was in the driver's seat during it. The best boy driving I've ever seen. I bet that was just made his life. He probably thought, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it. That's awesome. I hope you got pictures. Mr. Pringle says, I just got off the phone with Mo, and he told me to quit gambling. He said, that's no, Mo Ansari is not there for your gambling advice. You're getting your numbers crossed. Moist One says, I am all in on Drew Lock. I think it's the right choice to give him a year in Seattle. Has a great arm, and Peyton Manning obviously sees something he likes. He continues to work with him. Moist One has drank the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. It's in the tank.
I understand. We do this every offseason. You just want to have some hope for your team. You start buying into decisions that get made, and you justify it to yourself.
It's a tank of Kool-Aid.
I'm telling you, in Denver, they could not wait to get rid of Drew Lock. Couldn't wait.
The fact that they were very much, Moist One.
I mean, like they were the fact that they were getting Russell Wilson back was obviously the point. But getting rid of Drew Lock is like cherry on top of the cake.
I think if Pete Carroll likes him so much, he ought to sign him to a 10-year extension.
Yeah, do it right now, and then you'll prove it to us.
Absolutely. Yeah, sign him to a 10-year, $100 million extension. Absolutely.
Good Cat says, that blender bender should be held at the Great Wolf Lodge.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what? I'm having a conversation with Radio Ron tomorrow. Now, on Friday was a crazy show. He got word that it was a crazy show. So, of course, he says because he enjoys listening to us, but I'm pretty sure he's just trying to protect the FCC license. So he got on and started listening. He didn't really get the whole gist of it. So tomorrow I got a meeting with Radio Ron, and I'm going to pitch the blender bender at a resort somewhere. So if anybody can make it happen, it's Radio Ron. So I think it's pretty obvious. It's just going to be a crazy, drunken, all-out brawl. Pretty fun way, no violence. But I am pitching it, Good Cat. So hang in there. Slave Dave says, didn't hear who won bets on Derby. Nobody. Nobody. Just
nobody had Speeder Iyer or whatever the hell his name was.
Rich Spire.
Rich
Strike. Whatever.
Yeah, Rich Strike. Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says Steve Carey is out for tonight's game. He got himself the vid. Steve Carey?
Is he related to Harry Carey? Hey, everybody, it's Harry Carey. Coming to you live here.
I think he means Steve Kerr.
The fanatic.
The coach is out, is what he's saying.
That's not one of my descendants.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Hey.
Yeah, Steve Kerr tests positive for COVID. He's out.
That'll be interesting because now they don't treat it like the plague that they used to because the antivirals and stuff but whatever. But that ain't good. That ain't good to not have. Of course, a lot of people said he's not that good of a coach anyways. It's just, he's been blessed with the players on the court.
Nonsense, because Mark Jackson had those same players and the Warriors did bupkis the entire time that he was there.
Bumpkiss. I love Keon's new phrase, bumpkiss.
I do not want to hear that Steve Kerr's not a good coach.
Bala 51 says, I picked the first and second place Kentucky Derby winners this weekend, and he shows me his tickets. And I don't see the horse name on there, but it looks like you won something. I don't know. Big George says, seriously, an NFL release watch party on radio? Man, they'll broadcast anything NFL related these days.
Heck
yes, we will. I was wondering how I was going to get home on time to see that game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back to the year 1871, Esteban Enrique Steve Balan became the first Hispanic player to appear in Major League game. He's got a cool name like Esteban Enrique, and they're like, "What do you want us to call you? You will call me Steve." Oh, okay.
Perhaps we should have gone with this music here.
Yeah, for this. My name is Esteban Enrique Balan. I play the baseball. I play it with flair, purpose for my people.
Was that flower or flair?
What would you like to be called? You will call me Steve. For I am a 21-year-old Cuban. I will play the infield for the Troy Haymakers of the National Association.
Okay.
I will lead you to a 9-5 victory. Or maybe a 9-5 loss to the Boston Red Stockings.
All right, so was it flower or flair? Was it a win or a loss?
Remember the name Steve as the first.
Steve.
And his descendants turned out to be Sergio Garcia. Distant cousins.
My name is Sergio Garcia, but you can call me Paul.
Joe the Show says, what is the blender bender you speak of? Well, it was an idea. Here's the idea. We get a resort, and that way nobody has to drink and drive. But you go there for the weekend, and we just hang out, and we drink, and we eat, and we just party. But Sunday, everybody has to be sober and get in their cars and drive home. And that way we all get together, and it's crazy, and it's safe. I mean, maybe we even just do it for one night, but everybody's sober the next day and drives home. I don't know. I got to work out these details, but this it could shape up to be one of the biggest parties that this valley has ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Joe, the show says sold. Well, if only you had a resort. That's the other part. Talking somebody into this madness. I mean, we should treat it like there should, like we talked about before, that there be breakout rooms, there's a conference rooms. There, we have all sorts of
like it's a convention.
seminars. Yeah, like a big old drunken convention. Cosplay, a bunch of people dressed up like Randy. A bunch of people dressed up like all of us. I mean, no, Mars Bar is not a party bus. Somebody always ends up falling out of a window or lost.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Voice one says, I know of a vacant island. No. We might need an ambulance. So there has to be an address.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to meet about this tomorrow, and I'll let you know what happens when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Or
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term